This meeting is held in compliance with the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10:4-6 et sec. Annual notice has been forwarded to the New Jersey Herald and the Daily Record. It was posted on the bulletin board maintained in the municipal building for public announcement. Can I have a roll call?
Mr. Hoppercamp will not be here. Ms. Johnson.
Yes, here.
Ms. Roberts.
Here.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Here.
Ms. Smith will not be here. Mr. Smith.
Here.
Mayor Galati.
Here. If you will all stand and join me in a pledge of allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And if you all remain standing for a moment of silence for the tragedy that's happened in Winder, Georgia today.
Another one.
Thank you. Okay, surprisingly, we have no proclamations this evening. So we're going to start off with our committee reports. How about if we start with Ms. Roberts?
Okay, so what we have coming up at the Hopatcong Community Center tomorrow, which is the 5th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., the Dawn Center for Independent Living will be parked outside of the community center. So if you or a loved one is living with a disability, this resource helps you with day-to-day tasks. They can also set you up with helping in filling out applications for Social Security, Medicaid, food stamps, whatever you need. So that's the Dawn Center for Independent Living. The name has nothing to do with me. It's just a resource that we brought to Hopatcong to help people be more progressive, helping people with disabilities. So there's that. That'll be there tomorrow. The van, it's a very nice van. They're getting a lot of traction out there. And it's good to see people reaching out and asking for help. That's what it's there for. They will be there from 10 to 2 p.m., 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. On Tuesday, September 10th, we have the All Cancer Support Group at the Community Center from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. On Wednesday, 9/11, Project Self-Sufficiency will have their journey bus parked out in the parking lot, just like the Dawn Center, from 10 to 2 p.m. So if you need anything from Project Self-Sufficiency, feel free to stop by the bus. Again, it's very nice inside. They invite you in and they do help close the gaps for you on whether it's groceries, resources from the county. They have computers there. They help with resume building, filling out applications, a great resource for the town. On Thursday, 9/12, we have the Center for Prevention at the Community Center from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. And that's all walk-ins are welcome. On Monday, 9/16, we will have the Dawn van there again, the Dawn Center for Independent Living on the 16th from 10 to 2. She's doing tomorrow and then next Monday because she missed Labor Day. So she wanted to make sure she got enough exposure out there and didn't want to just blow off a day. So they've been very, very good to us. That's it for now, Mayor. Thank you.
That's all the information. Ms. Johnson?
Yes. Municipal Alliance is looking for volunteers to help with programming. They're bringing lots of new stuff back to the schools and to seniors. Our next meeting, oh my gosh, I didn't write it down, is 9/16 at 6 p.m. under the pavilion out at the senior center if possible. If not, then in here. Some of the stuff that they're talking about in the meetings are Timothy Schumacher bringing back Girls on the Run, bringing in D West. Programs called Seniors Are Wise, Wellness Bingo, the Bike Rodeo, movie nights. They've also brought somebody in from the Elks to help with the Elks Peer Leadership Program, which is amazing. And then they're doing tips training through the Center for Prevention. For recreation, there was no meeting in August. The next meeting is September 10th at 7 p.m. right here in this room. The Lake Hopatcong Triathlon benefiting our Hopatcong PBA 149 is on this Saturday and 9/7 starting at 7:30 a.m. So watch out for the barricades and don't go around them or through them, please. The Hapakon PBA 149 is also hosting a food truck festival and car show at Vets Field on September 21st from 11 to 7. School starts tomorrow for Hopakon, and I know for charter and tech. I wanted to wish all the students, teachers, and administrators good luck on a successful school year. The reminder for the referendum, if you have any questions, please email the superintendent, Jay Hallenbeck, at hopakonschools.org. The first Hopakon High School Chiefs football game is this Friday. It is an away game at Manville High School. We had the Hopakon High School their first soccer game today versus Lenape Valley. Won't have that score. Our first home game for the Chiefs football is on September 20th at 7 p.m. at home versus Booton. I wanted to remind everybody with school starting, please be mindful of the buses. When the lights are on, you are to stop 25 feet from the buses. I also wanted to, last but not least, wish a very happy birthday to Councilwoman Rodriguez, whose birthday was yesterday, 9/3.
Thank you.
And that's all I have.
Very good. Oh, sorry. Councilman Smith,
I don't have any reports this time. Thank you.
Councilwoman Rodriguez.
Welcome, everyone. I also want to wish all the kids good luck going back to school. I know they absolutely hate it. I love the structure back in my kids' life, but I hate the traffic. So please be mindful. Traffic is really bad right now. Leave a couple minutes earlier so we're not racing down the roads because it takes a second for an accident to happen. Our crossing guards can only do so much other than jumping in front of, vehicles to keep the kids safe. So just as Councilwoman Johnson said, please keep an eye out there. The police department is hiring a part-time animal control officer. Anybody interested can send their resumes over to ACO DiMatteo. Also regarding school, you can visit the Hopakon Police Department Facebook page. They actually have exactly when you can and can't pass a school bus. A lot of safety measures that they're very easy to forget. So it's probably a good refresher for everybody to refer there for reference. The police department is also rolling out their House Watch program. This is a free police service that allows residents to request periodic checks of their property. This includes an exterior inspection to ensure that doors and windows are secure and there are no signs of suspicious activity. If you are going to be doing this, they ask that you please give them at least 1 week's notice. You can come to the police station and register or fill out the form online. And if you have any other questions, please email the police department specifically for that. We have nothing from the ambulance squad, nothing to report from the fire department, but I do want to thank them. The Warriors had their pep rally last night at Hilltop Field. Councilwoman Johnson and I were there, and it was a fantastic time. I've never seen such a big fire in my life, but I want to thank the fire department for keeping it safe and making sure everybody had a good time and there's no catastrophes that happened. Upcoming events, we have the 9/11 memorial service on Wednesday, September 11th. That's going to be going back to a night event. I believe it's Mayor 6 p.m. 6 p.m. start in Fireman's Park here. We have Sussex County Day on Sunday, September 15th. And we also have our NCA meeting Saturday, September 21st. And that is all I have.
Very good. Thank you. And our administrators report, Neil.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, everyone. So first report, as usual, from our DPW and water departments. DPW continues with its basin repairs, hot patching, field grooming, and tree cleanup from some recent storms. They replaced a drainage pipe on Cove Road, continue with roadside mowing and street sweeping. DPW and water department continue to make improvements in and around Town Hall with painting continuing, more to come, and replacement of some ceiling tiles. DPW also installed a bench at Rotary Memorial Park and repaired the path at this location as well. DPW also assisted with prepping a pad for an Eagle Scout project to be conducted at the hockey rink. A report from the water department: they replaced manhole cover on Lakeside Boulevard, conducted wall repairs at the animal shelter, and installed the water tap in Infernal Road. They also tended to a water leak on Bell. We're busy with power issues from some of our storms that I just mentioned at some of our lift stations in town. They installed an air separator at Well 8, installed a riprap at the Hudson Well, preparation for our PFAS delivery system, and repaired a washout at Hilltop Fields. We also made some upgrades to our senior center in coordination with our school superintendent, DPW, patched the entrance to the senior center and Hilltop Field entrance to eliminate an annoying bump that existed there for some time and make it a little bit more smooth, which was nice. Senior Center also had a transfer switch installed at that location at the main shut off of the generator to allow power to be restored instantly in case of a power outage. And as Councilwoman Johnson mentioned about the triathlon this weekend, the route is posted on the police Facebook's website. Chief just asked for everybody, if possible, to avoid the area during those timeframes. And then down here below, there's a couple of handouts that we put out this evening. One is for the senior freeze property tax relief, and the other is from the Morris County Municipal Utilities Authority, pertinent recycling information. That concludes my report, Mayor and Council.
Thank you. We are going to open to the public, and I have a motion.
Motion.
Second.
Second. So we're going to open to the public. How this works is you're allowed to come forward. You need to state your name. We do not want your address because if you do not know it, our meetings are live streamed. So we do not want your address. You need to come forward, state your name. You have up to 5 minutes to speak. You speak directly to the council. You do not speak to the rest of the audience. And does anybody want to speak? Annette?
I'll go first, even though it's my first time doing this. I'm very nervous about it, but good evening, Mayor, council members, administrators, and members of the audience. Most of you, if not all of you, know me, but for the sake of those who don't, I will introduce myself. My name is Annette Greco. I have been a full-time resident of Hopatcon for over 40 years and was last year's Hopatcon and Sussex County Senior of the Year. My purpose for being here before you is not for me alone, but for the wonderful group of individuals who I consider more than friends. For the past 4 years, I have led a senior exercise group at the Hopatcon Senior Center on Lakeside Boulevard. I was told this past Friday, after coming back from a 2-week vacation, that we could no longer come back to the senior center using the upper level. With that being said, the reaction from the group was not happy. I would like to, I know you just said that I can't involve the audience, but would I be able to allow them to stand, those who are part of the group?
Sure.
If those would be willing to stand that are part of our group. Thank you. I am here for them. And
You can
for,
sit back.
and you can sit.
Thank you for
Sorry.
standing.
I am here for them and for others who couldn't be here. We all see the need for exercise in our lives. My desire is for this program to continue at our senior center, as it has been for many years past, even before I joined the Hopatcon Lunch Bunch back in 2019. We are here seeking all of your help from the town leaders. We want our program to continue. It's a must in the lives of our seniors, and they really enjoy it. I even printed out, I had someone print out from our Sussex County Division of Senior Services promoting exercise, from the stating it on their website and what it does for our seniors and how they promote. So if you'd like a copy, I have copies here. I'll gladly leave, pass out to anyone who would like to see them. I'm approaching all of you now to see if you can come up with a plan to help us continue to meet at the upper level of the senior center. Once the weather gets cold, we won't be able to meet at the pavilion any longer. We have been doing that when the weather is nice. The lower level is not an option. I did not refuse to use the lower level. It is not doable. Our numbers are too large. I brought one of my sign-in books. This day we had 38 people. We cannot fit 38 people downstairs in the lower level. It's not doable. When it was, we did. I did everything I could to promote this program and allow them to continue to exercise. It is not doable, but I just want to make it clear, I did not refuse it. Okay. It's a good thing, though, that we're getting large. I see that people are recognizing the need for exercising. And I was just wondering if those in the audience are willing to share. If you don't have any questions for me, I would like to have them come up and give a testimony of how this exercise program has been a blessing to their life. And that's pretty much, if anyone has any questions for me, I'm ready to answer any that you might have.
And I'm just catching up because I was away as well. What is the problem with using the upper level where it's very much more roomier?
Oh, so you weren't on the email.
I was
Um,
not.
Okay, there were complaints being made about us. They were saying, there was many things being said. Saying that because I'm not sanctioned or part of some kind of I'm a nonprofit, I put out a box of donations. I don't get paid from the town or the
Right.
county. So therefore, since it's a county-run program at our nutrition program, then we should not be able to be there because we're not county funded or town funded. There was a woman before me that was town funded. They did not want to hire her back. And when I had offered to do it, they said to me, the town does not have any money in the budget for you. Would you be willing to just put out a box and take donations? So I said, do you have a list of people? I says, I know the people who come, but I would need names, phone numbers. And Kathy Bowen at the time gave me a list of people that I could call, and all of them agreed. And I started back in April of 2021, right after COVID. We met during COVID up at the pavilion. Janelle was doing it. On days when she couldn't do it, she would ask me to sub. And then the ladies liked the way the program was going, and they wanted me to continue doing it. But I'm not doing it for the money. I put out a box, I get donations, they'll throw in $1. And it was referenced that I'm in it for the profit. I'm not getting a profit.
I know.
They could attest to the money, what I do with the monies. I put it right back into them.
Absolutely. You don't have to prove yourself to us.
Right,
And I've known you for what, 15 years?
yeah.
You
And
don't have to
so
prove yourself to me.
I stand before God. That's the
That's
only, I have an audience of one,
Mhm.
and that's who so thank you for all your time. God bless you.
I just have,
Yes,
I only
sure.
have one question. So you said
Absolutely.
you're a nonprofit, and I think that exercise in the senior center is wonderful. But my concern is always about the liability for the borough. So I think that for me, the question is about insurance that you carry in case somebody were to get hurt.
Mhm. I can look into that. It's something that I
And
would,
that might be something that I think that, right, that's being discussed.
I'll comment at the
Yeah,
end after
okay.
everybody's done.
So that was the only thing.
yeah, and like I said, if they need to get a qualified person that is under their umbrella, I'm fine with that. I'm not,
Yes,
I have no
yes.
problem with stepping aside because I want to see the program continue.
Yes.
So if you need someone that does have insurance because they are a person that does this in other places and they carry that because they are doing this for a living. I'm not doing this for a living. I'm doing it
As a service.
as a service. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thanks, Annette.
I'm sorry, I
Yeah.
also have
Oh,
a
sure.
question. So 38, is that a big class, or is that usually average? Like what's a big
We
class?
average between 25 and 35. I've had as many, Joanne had counted 42. Not everybody signs in. When they come in off the bus, they don't always come to the desk and sign in. So they'll just, wherever they're at, they'll just exercise. And I'm not gonna say, oh, sign in and put I'm not about that. So we are a large group, and then we go from between 25 and 35 people average.
Okay, and how long is the class?
It's an hour,
1 hour.
the most, and that's with taking down everything. Our class usually runs from 10 to 10:45. And then
Okay,
it takes us about 15 minutes to break everything down, and we're out of there by 11.
what kind of equipment are you guys? I've never attended, so I'm just
Oh, you're
trying to
welcome to come and
understand.
check us out. We use weights, but they
Okay.
bring their own,
Okay.
and we use like those bands, and we use
Okay.
the chairs to lean on to do balance and leg exercises, and so it's
So there's no activities going on from 10 to 11?
No.
Okay.
no, when I get there at 9:30 to set up, nobody is there
Okay,
except for the 2 women in the office and the
Mhm.
2 people in the kitchen. No
Good.
one else is there.
good to know.
And you do it once a week?
Twice.
Twice.
They used to have the program Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but I couldn't do it that much. So Tuesdays and Thursdays is the time frame. 2 days a week for 1 hour.
Like them bones.
Sure.
Well, thank you for volunteering your time, and
Thanks,
you're
Annette.
paid in smiles, I'm sure.
We all belong to Annette's exercise class, and no finer exercise person. My name is Joanne Lamastro. I've been in Hapatcon. I'm a resident for 45 years. I'm retired law enforcement. I raised 3 children here. I've had open heart surgery, replaced hip, replaced knee, you name it, I've had it. So for me, going to exercise class is a must. It keeps me going. I've had great loss in my life. I've lost a child. So it's great emotionally. And there are other women that are here tonight that have experienced the same loss. When we get together, we get to talk, we comfort each other. Annette is a God-fearing woman. She keeps us on the straight and narrow. She teaches us our exercise, and it's great emotionally, gets our endorphins going. We've made a lot of good friends. We enjoy ourselves. And when we go to exercise, we make sure we move the tables out of the way very carefully. When we're done, we actually line them up with the tables that were there. We're very respectful. As soon as class is over, we're out of there. Annette keeps us active all the time. She puts, if you have an issue, you can go to Annette. She puts us in groups. She also has little get-togethers for us. She scheduled luncheons. She's concerned for each and every one that belongs to the class. And not only that, she'll text us, have a great weekend, have a great day. She's marvelous. She does all this on her own time. Of course, you know, we've got a lot more years on her. She's more bendable than we are, but it's so enjoyable. And a lot of these women that come to exercise have no other recourse. They have no other social connections. So it's beneficial for them emotionally, physically, and spiritually. And I speak for myself. That's how I feel. It's just a great, great program. 45 years I've lived here. I never took advantage of anything. This is the first time I took advantage. I'm really, really happy with it. I'm sorry other people are not happy with us, but gosh, we're friendly to everybody when we go there. And you can't make everybody happy and you can't make everybody like you. But we go there, exercise, clean up, fix up, and we're gone. So that's all I have to say.
Thank you, Joanne.
Thanks for listening. Appreciate it.
I'm a little flush. My name's Eleanor Goldberg. I'm only in a Hapatcon for a year. This group has been a life force to me. I also lost a child after living here a year, an adult child. And it's not just about the exercise. This group is better than my bereavement group. They are such a welcoming, loving group. It's unbelievable. I mean, I can't begin to tell you, it's not just about the exercise. It's about the love, the caring for each other, the looking out for each other. And I mean, everybody tells you when you get older, you have to move. That's what well, Ma, you gotta move. I remember nonstop, Ma, you gotta move. And so it's not because to keep yourself alive and to keep yourself going the next day. And you should come and see us and see what a wonderful job Annette has done with hardly even saying a word. This woman has created an environment that is amazing. And like I said, it's not just about exercising and all of that. It's about the heart and the spirit and the mind and keeping people going to the next day, because sometimes that's really hard. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello. My name is Micheline Norwood Police. I've been a resident of Hapatcon since 1998. I always wanted to live in Sussex County, okay? That's right there. I camped up here when I was a kid. I started this program in June after one of the women I worked the polls with told me about it. I had 2 knees replaced, a hip replaced. I have psoriatic arthritis. I have osteoarthritis from my job and my misspent youth. Bottom line here is, seriously, girl, and I don't regret it. These women welcomed me. I have nothing in common with them, trust me. I'm an old biker. I'm an old biker chick. I am. Perfectly honest here. I said, my doctor, when I told my doctors, my two doctors, my primary and my arthritis, they were so happy that I started doing this. I can move better. My balance is better. These women are like, they're best friends. They're great to each other. And that, I have never met anybody more selfless in my life. She was senior of the year last year, and these people are going after her. It's not right. It's just morally wrong.
I agree.
I just can't, this is like one of the best things I've done in a long time. I was a gym rat. I lifted weights for years. I said, I can't do any of that anymore. There's things that I can't do, and that knows that I know enough to do things that help. The chair stuff, it's great. I've looked into gyms at other gyms. I've looked into the county's program. Yeah, good luck with that. I have it all documented if you want to know. This is a wonderful thing for women, and it's not all women. We have men that come. We do. I said, you have women that are in their 90s.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm gonna be 70 the end of the month. I said, if I don't keep this up, I'm not going to the gym. It's not gonna be good. But thanks for listening to us. And I want to thank you too. You were like the only two. I said, I emailed everybody that was on the list. You got delegate, you're the mayor. But I emailed the county about the courses that they run. The yoga, yeah, let's talk about that real quick. They do one chair yoga class a month in September and October and nothing in November. They have beginner classes. You think we can get on the ground and get back up? Yeah, that's not happening either. It's just, this class is great for older people, period. 60 up. Ladies, come see it one day. Seriously, come down. It's great. It just really upsets me, the fact that one person made one phone call and we got thrown out of that place. They never addressed the parking. They bitched about the parking. They bitched about taking food. They got one guy that works there was like forcing me to take tortillas that were past due. They were expired by 2 weeks. I said, the bread that's sitting on the counter, I did this last time we were in there. Seriously, it was stale. You're gonna make breadcrumbs. But the bottom line is like they're bitching about this stuff that's ridiculous. And we're just trying to exercise. We don't bother anybody. We set up, we break down, we put everything back, we go out the door. They complained about the music. Did they ask us to turn it down? No.
No, never.
Never. They complained about the parking. We park all the way up. On Tuesday, there were 3 cars in the parking lot that were in the front 2 rows, right by the center, 1 in a handicap spot. Also, 4 handicap spots at a senior center, really? They play tennis and they play pickleball. They didn't complain. I asked the tennis people, they were there all the time when we were there. I asked them, anybody complain to you about the parking? No, nobody ever said a word to them. They were amazed that we got thrown out of the senior center. It's just like ridiculous. I said, if it wasn't for this program, a lot of these women, they're their buddies. They don't know me. I don't know them, but they've been so kind and so nice, and they're really good people. All they want to do is get a little bit healthier. And believe me, I understand that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Margaret. I agree with everything that lady says. I happen to be 91 and I go this for Tuesday and Thursday. And my doctor says that you do exercise. I certainly do. And I'm enjoying every Tuesday and Thursday. And I can walk well. I have no cane, no walker, but I'm 91 going on 92. And I love Annette. And I love everybody here. And we all enjoy the music and the exercise. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary. Mary's coming up. Just 1 second. Mary's coming up. 1 second. 1 second. 1 second.
Okay, hi, my name's Mary Volker, and I'm here for the senior lunch bunch. I am no way here saying anything bad about the exercise class. I used to do it, and we were downstairs when I did it, okay? I don't begrudge them to have the exercise class, okay? But I'm here on behalf of the lunch bunch. Lately, there has been problems arriving, sorry, very nervous, occurring because of the exercise groups that is run by Annette Greco. The exercise group has grown too big to be upstairs at our senior center. And they were asked to move downstairs. They rudely refused. Here.
Hey.
Hey,
I didn't say
let her
anything
have
when
her
you were
moment,
up there.
please.
Okay. Now, she was just talking about the parking. There is a problem with parking, and I actually went to the exercise group and talked to them about it, because after the exercise, there's lunch. Now we've started a breakfast program too. And they are telling the people that they can't talk. The music's too loud for them to even talk. They can't get up to get any breakfast or anything because the whole group is wrapped around in front of where the food is. I'm just telling you what,
No, we're not.
No, nothing from the audience, please.
I was told by someone that goes there. And she said she could not even get up to go through to get coffee for her breakfast. And a lot of these people come there to be with other people. They're lonely. They don't get breakfast or lunch. They get breakfast and lunch from us. Okay. Now, the problem with the parking is they do not park up in the back. They park in the front spaces. And some of the seniors that come in afterwards have walkers and stuff, have to walk from the back all the way up. And I had asked them about that, if they could park up in the back, because when we come at 11:30, they're still there. And we can't get in. Okay, and I go to lunch, so this is the truth, okay? So I'm not bringing up something that's a lie. I'm there Tuesday and Thursday for bingo. I am there at 11 o'clock. The other day at 11:30, they were still doing exercise outside, which is fine because they're not in anybody's way there, okay? Here's where the problem starts. The county rents the building from 9 to 2 for our senior lunch bunch. Many who don't have breakfast, so they go, I'm sorry, I'm getting very nervous. So they come to the center for it. Many of the senior lunch bunch are there for game playing, companionship, and they're just lonely. But the exercise group interferes with lunch bunch to eat, talk, or play cards. In fact, they told them that they were too loud and they were interfering with their exercise class, which I don't know how that could be, but I was told that too. This exercise group blocks the exits, which is a fire hazard, because there's too many upstairs. Okay, when we were downstairs, there was over 40 of us, and we managed well. So I don't know what the problem is that they can't manage down there. I've been down there. It's not the pleasantest place to be, but I don't want to keep the people that don't have any food, that come there for breakfast, and they are there from 9 o'clock. Okay, they don't come there at 11. They come there at 9 with the bus. Okay, I know that because tomorrow morning I will be going there at 9 and they are already there. The ones that don't go to the meeting. So I'm not stating something that I don't know about. Okay. The lunch bunch has grown to 95 people. And I already said whatever that I wanted to say, but
Do you
with
want to
other
leave
things.
that with us?
I will,
You
yes.
can just. Rachel,
Here,
get it from you.
I'll take it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
No, not a problem.
Thank you.
Okay. She's gonna come up. Why don't you stand behind her and then you can go right after her. You can't ask Annette a question. You wouldn't be able to ask Annette a question in the middle of the meeting. Sorry.
Good evening, council people, mayor. My name is Barbara Farkas. I've lived in Opakon 53 years. 2 years ago, my friend said to me, I just retired at 75 years old. She says, why don't you come to this exercise class? That's an exercise class. Me, exercise? I haven't exercised my whole entire life. So I got up that morning. I said, what the heck? I went and I met this group of people. This Annette, these girls are the blessing that I needed in my life. I've met so many wonderful girls. We have a relationship. And what that woman just said, I'm going to contradict everything she said.
Thank you.
We go there at 9:30. I'm handicapped. I have a ticket. I do park in the front, but I don't take up a bunch of spaces. This woman does not come to our meetings or our exercise classes all the time. She came back in July, I think it was, and came and did a speech about our parking and about taking of the food. She said, it's only for the lunch bunch. Well, guess what? I became a member of the lunch bunch. I became a member because of the group that I'm with, Annette. They said, why don't you come and join this? I've also joined the senior center. I also joined the yacht club center, whatever it's called. I became members of different things in this town because of the exercise class. My doctor's thrilled to death that I am doing exercises because I didn't want to do anything. I haven't been able to come because I've had a lot of different surgeries these past couple of years, but they don't forget me. They send me cards, they call me. I come when Annette does the luncheons, they call, make sure that I come to the lunches. I feel I'm part of this group and I'm a part of this town. But for them to say, you can't exercise. We go in there at 9:30. We talk. That's the only time most of us get together. We'll do our exercises. There's women in there. They're playing cards. There's people in the back. They're dancing. They're laughing. They're singing. Nobody ever came up to us or Annette and said, you know what? You're disturbing us. I've never seen a bunch of ladies or gentlemen come in there for breakfast. I've been doing this for 2 years now. I've never seen not one person come in. If they come in, they get coffee. We don't disturb them. We're in here. They sit over here. They go down here to the aisle and get their coffee now. Nobody has ever said to Annette or us, you know, you're disturbing us. They dance to the music. They sing to the music. I watch them. I'm up front. I can see what they're doing. So for them to say that we're disturbing them and we're causing a ruckus, that's so false. And I'm sorry. We need to exercise. These people need to exercise. And I hope you understand. And I hope you can make a resolution and help us get to continue our exercise class. Because if it ends, I don't know what we're going to do.
Thank you.
But thank you.
Thank you.
Jerry Langers. The question I had, so I guess I'll present it to you just as a statement for Annette was, maybe if she started a half hour earlier, that would help with some of the issues of parking, et cetera. Now, I just went through 2 major back surgeries in March and I have a bad knee. So I know when I get there on Thursdays, there is no parking except in the back. And it's hard for me, so I go up the ramp. I don't even do the steps in front of the door. So I thought it was just a suggestion that maybe we started a little bit earlier.
Well, let us.
Thank you.
I don't think that's.
That was
they're not gonna let us.
maybe we could get more
No, they
handicap
won't let
spots.
us.
It's a
We're
suggestion.
screwed. There should be more
Oh,
handicap.
but talking about that, they fixed the road on the bottom. What about fixing the holes on the top?
Hey, it took us a long time to fix that road on the bottom.
It is actually better at the top.
That-
Than on top
Oh,
of
I
Hilltop,
had
it's
some really bad hole the other day on Sunday.
at the top of
No,
No, no,
Hilltop.
no, she's
yes.
talking the parking lot. of
The parking
senior
lot on
center.
the top, not the top where the.
They don't go up
The
there.
seniors.
They don't go that.
Where our
Well, maybe they have
senior-
grandkids who play football, I don't know.
Where the pavilion is, there are some holes really on the right side over there. Which also brings me to another question. How do I get my street paved? Do I ask you about it eventually?
We do have a list that you can put your name on to put your street on the list, but there is a formula that they do have, that they pick the streets. I don't get to pick the streets. There's a formula that they have.
But again, like I said, maybe you're starting.
I wrote it down.
But thank you.
Thank you, Jerry.
We usually park up by the bocce court,
Right.
so we're not even.
Right.
And half of them don't drive, they all come in a bus. So we park anyway up by bocce, unless you're handicapped, then you can park there.
There's also the tennis players and the pickleball players that are there every morning.
Right.
12 people.
Is there anyone else that would like to speak
About that issue.
about any issue?
I don't want to talk about the senior center and exercising. I can't.
Absolutely, you can come up and speak about anything that you want to speak about.
Lynn Ritchie. And if people are playing pickleball and tennis up there, there has to be some kind of an insurance policy to cover the outside courts. I would imagine there would be something for an exercise inside to cover. And I would imagine for that, you would be a licensed person to do that. And I think if you brought the county in and had them bring someone, it wouldn't be a donation box. It would be a set fee that would be a lot more than $1 or $2 that you can contribute. But that's my 2 cents on the exercise program. Great thing you guys are doing. Has anyone talked to JCP&L and asked them to do an audit of our transformer boxes and see how many are caged and how many are uncaged? And caged, I mean critter caged. A couple years ago, they did a major call, a whole state call when there was an outage in Central Jersey. And me and Mayor Mike were on the call, and I asked them what was going on, and they actually assigned me a service person who did an audit of my house, and in 10 years, I was out 223 times. They narrowed it down to 93 of them were critters in the transformers. I have transformer cages now. Well, I have a whole house generator now, but I have transformer cages over my part of the network of Staten Trail. And everyone to the left will be down, and everyone to the right will be up. And I swear it's the cages. Ask them, how many of them are covered, and ask them to do an audit. How many of these outages are from the critters going into the transformer cages? We have too many outages, and I can't believe it's all falling trees.
It's absolutely not fallen trees.
Right.
The last two incidents that we had, especially the one that was the 28th or the 29th, that was actually a critter issue that happened in Jefferson that caused a fire, which not everybody in Hopakon was out. It was intermittent through Hopakon, but it is critters. And when I had finally spoken to JCP&L, they said, unfortunately, this for some reason is the craziest time with the critters in them. And we do have an appointment, the administrator and I do have an appointment coming up with our.
There's critter cages.
Yeah, and that is one of the.
And they put them on there, and I'm telling you, I ended up buying a generator just because I was tired. It's my insurance policy that I'm never gonna have an outage, but I swear to you, everyone to the right has power, everyone to the left is out.
We agree with you 100%.
So, just my thought. Thanks.
We agree, we agree.
This is unrelated to the,
It's okay, we'll see what.
I have a question. There's been any discussion about putting a traffic light at the corner of Edsel?
Funny that you mentioned that.
Yeah.
Funny that you mentioned that. We're actually currently working on that. We have several letters from businesses in the area, from Smile, from the owner of Bella Rosa, where I am, from Quick Check, supporting a traffic light at the corner of Edsel and the Senior Center.
All the
And
condos
we're
in the
hoping
back?
to present it with it before the year ends. We're hoping to present it to the county because it's a county road.
It's a county road.
So we are just, we have to meet yet with our PD to get their input with it, but that is absolutely a solution.
Thank you for your time.
Yes.
Hello. Hi, Richard Gary. First, I want to join this group. Awesome. What fun. All right, the 7 men can run. I'm getting there. All right. First on JCP&L, I heard it a minute ago. I'm on Hudson Avenue. My wife and I were walking. There is a power line that's literally hung by a rope to a dead branch on a tree. It came down a couple of years ago, and that was the temporary fix. My wife had left a message for JCP and I hasn't heard anything back on that. So if somebody could look at it, it's just destined for somebody to get hurt.
Can you email that?
Yes.
To like where that is approximately?
Yep. Okay, next, there was a lot of energy in last meeting around the beach club and parking for the Airbnbs. I'm not gonna talk about the Airbnbs, and I want you to all be impressed with my PowerPoint skills. All of those little boxes are to scale for cars. But at the end of the day, what happens is when all the cars park on the side, the line of sight coming down that road, you can't see. And there's kids that are coming out all the time. We've got 5 grandkids. And I would hate, and we heard all the safety about the buses and things like that, and it's literally somebody's gonna get hurt. And you can go at a snail's crawl and you do that. The second is, and you can, if you just drive down it, you can see that. And it's bad enough, during the normal time, let alone when, when the kids are all there.
These are.
Those are all cars.
These are cars or current spots.
Those are cars in the current spots. So when they're full, that's there. And then what's happened, and I know it's the end of the year right now, so we don't have to worry about it. But when those spots are full, then they park all along the street. And when you're coming around the curves, line of sight, you literally can't see around the curves. And I would just say, just drive it sometime to try. The other thing is when you go down and where I've got this green car down here at the end of Crescent, there's a real sharp angle there. And when you try to turn right to look at what's coming down the hill, you're cranking your head around and you almost can't see if somebody's coming a little fast. Always come with a solution. I'm not a civil engineer, trust that. But if you look at the second one, the option, if we just straighten that out and just come so that Crescent is or that Hudson is then perpendicular to Crescent, you could see in both directions. You'd actually give more parking to the beach club there on the other side in that little triangle. So I don't know how difficult that is, but it would seem like a pretty easy solution to that one issue seeing around there, but it still doesn't solve all the parking up along the street and just people slowing down there. I'm telling you, it's just dangerous and somebody's gonna get hurt. I love watching the kids play there. I just hate to see something happen.
Is this a municipal lot or does this lot belong to Crescent Code?
There are municipally owned property within this in several spots.
So obviously the road is a municipal road, like Crescent Road is a municipal road, right?
Crescent Road is a municipal road.
Okay.
But it's all paved. All you have to do is paint lines.
Crescent Road.
Not our
Crescent
parking
Road.
lot.
Yes,
I'm sorry?
it's not our
I'm
parking
asking
lot.
if.
Oh, got it.
It's not our parking lot.
Well, again, this is for you guys to figure out, but we'll take a look at it.
Appreciate it.
The last one is we're on Hudson Avenue and the paving. So I've looked at the town, there was a meeting on June 5th where it was said that the paving schedule for 2024 was in the meeting minutes. I looked everywhere, couldn't find it. I checked on the website's got 2023 paving schedule. So there's nothing as to when we're gonna get paved. It's dangerous. I know of 3 people that have either twisted ankles or broken ankles on the street already. I'm dying to see what happens with the triathlon coming down there Saturday, because if you go, there are major potholes and everything is breaking up. And talking to neighbors, they said it hasn't been paved. And I think the oldest I know, somebody there is 16 years that it hasn't been paved. And it's really dangerous. And part of the sewer project was supposed to be to pave that at the end to get it repaved and finished. So I'd love to know, again, I don't know if it's a secret of what the parking schedule is.
It's not that it's a secret. It's with the paving project, the problem is with our capital budget going in as late as it did. We're later in the season to be able to get it. So we're almost last on the list to be able to get our product, to be able to pave. A lot of our paving schedule has been altered, especially in the area where the Heights was getting paved, because New Jersey Natural Gas is starting between October 2024 and March of 2025. So those roads that were slated to get paved in the middle of that project have been moved. So the roads that they're now going to pave in place of those actually, I don't think that we've been given those from DPW as of yet.
So I can understand, if JCP knows, or the JCP knows the gas, or is it?
No, New Jersey Natural Gas.
New Jersey Natural Gas, right? So if they're gonna change the schedule, it's awesome. I'll volunteer Hudson Avenue to go next. Hey, put us up the list. Come on. We've been there 13 years and it gets worse. There are major potholes and I invite you to come walk it sometime. Thank you.
Thank you for this, Matt.
Hi, Toby Nelson. I spoke at the last meeting about the Airbnbs and the horrendous parking on Hudson Avenue. Again, it's a two-way street and it is a mess. And we've been promised that the roads would be paved, as the gentleman said. Nothing. It's just getting worse. And with the accident that occurred earlier this year, now you have a barrier up. It's very dangerous. So I'm just asking, has anything been done or looked into according to the Airbnbs, the parking on the street where you can't get two cars opposite going up and down the block? I mean, I live there. If I need an emergency vehicle, it's never going to happen. Never.
So I can tell you that we have looked into the Airbnbs. We're in the middle of, again, collecting empirical data to
understand.
be able to move forward, because we have to go back before we can go forward. So we need to be able to get all that information that's there. As for the parking that's on there, we do have the officers that are going out there. They are, giving us the know of what's going on out there with things. We do know that the Crescent Cove was issued a summons for parking and things like that. So that's in the court system and then back at the land use board. The unfortunate thing is the answer is not going to be that simple. It is not going to be that fast because there's so many different facets to just that. The Airbnbs are municipal, but they also go through zoning. They also go through land use. They also come back here. They go through the PD. When it comes to the issues with the paving, that's going through DPW. That's something that nobody sitting on this board makes the decision about any of the roads. There's a formula that they use. There's a science to it. There's a vehicle that rides all the roads and it rates all the roads. It can tell them how deep a pothole is, how deep things are, where the water runoff is and whatnot.
Right.
And that's where they come up with the names for the roads.
If the road is a two-way and there's a police car that comes along and they can't issue tickets, I mean, you need to get two cars coming, one going down Crescent, one going down to Maxim. There are many spots on the road, which I have said, that you cannot get two cars coming and going. And then with the cars parked there illegally, it becomes impossible. I am looking out for the safety of my family, myself, and my neighbors, that you can't get an emergency vehicle up there.
I agree. We have been encouraging all the residents in the area that is a problem, that they should be calling the PD to let them know that. Because it allows us to have, again, another piece of the empirical data where we know that there's complaints because the parking is an issue. So we have been encouraging that in the area. And I myself have been down there almost every single Sunday from someone that's called me because of an issue that's happening, whether it's in the Crescent Cove area or on Hudson Ave. So I agree with you 100%. And you will not get an argument out of me that it definitely needs to have something done.
There's some attention needs to be made to our street.
I agree with
Okay,
you.
thanks. Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. Anyone else?
I have some.
Sure, Denise.
My name is Denise Delman. I've lived in town for about 45 years, put 3 children through the Apacon school system. During that time, I volunteered for everything from the school to the brownies, to the sports, to everything, even to St. Jude's. So my question is now, fast forward all those years, and I am a senior as well, I'm 71 years old, that we are told that we can't be in that center for an hour and a half a week. That's insane. And also, I would like to know where all these accusations are coming from, because as this woman in the back here mentioned that we're too loud, we're rude, that came up. I think we at least deserve to know where they're coming from. And are any of them here tonight that made those accusations? If they are, they need to speak up, not hide in the corner. I mean, okay, and by the way, I am also a member of the Lunch Bunch, and my husband is too.
We all are.
My husband has a very tough time walking. We get there, the handicap spots are gone because there's not that many of them. And he walks from the back in and up the steps. And we never cried about it. He never said, oh, I'm handicapped, I can't. We just do what we have to do. So I think that we are at least owed explanation as to where this is coming from. The program's been in existence for a long time. And why all of a sudden, where is this coming from? We are not rude. We are maybe, Annette plays her tapes but that's for 45 minutes. Yes, there is a group of ladies that sit over in the corner and they play cards and they socialize, whatever it is they do. But yeah, some of them do try to join in the exercise. Is it coming from them? Is it coming from, I would be very hard pressed to think that any of this is coming from any of the ladies who work in the civic center serving the food and whatnot, because they're good girls. And I don't think, at least I hope anyway, that this isn't coming from anybody in there, because that would be a shame, a damn shame. So now they're saying it's an issue from the county. Why all of a sudden? Insurance is an issue all of a sudden. The $2 that she collects is an issue all of a sudden. And by the way, I have been to many gyms during I went to gyms with my kids and I went on my own. This is not, when I first heard about that program, I have to be honest, I didn't go because I thought that, it's probably just you lift your leg, you sit in a chair, you lift your leg, it is not that. This is a bona fide exercise program. We have a warm-up, we work with weights, we work with bands, we have a cool down, a balance, and that is all you need in an exercise program. And that's what we get. So the first time I went, I was like, wow, this really is a good 45-minute workout. And there have been, there's a man that goes, he could barely stand up. Now he stands up, he does what he does. Hey, maybe he can only go this far instead of this far. But the point is, he does it.
Yeah.
So as I said, I would at least think that Annette and all of us ladies deserve to know, where is this coming from all of a sudden and why? And as far as them coming in and us bothering them, well, the only valid complaint they have is the music, as far as I'm concerned. But these words that are flying around like rude, no, that is not us. So I, at the very least, as I said, I think we deserve an explanation as to what is going on here and who is making all these accusations. Who is saying that? And we put everything back the way it was. And not to mention, there's a member inside the hall there that has annoyed us as well. We have not said a word, but if we have to, we will. So I hope that you all listen. I respect everybody here. I respect these ladies, but we deserve some sort of an explanation. And we also deserve we're there 45 minutes, twice a week. That's it. And we were accused of taking food, the parking spaces. What? I don't get it. There have been times when I've exercised, went in with my husband and we ate, and there's by the time we get in there, these ladies are gone. So what is the complaint? What all of a sudden, all this hoo-ha about, and everybody's arguing, it's putting everyone, including you guys, in a very compromising situation. Because the next thing you're going to have bickering between this one and that one, and people who are involved in the council and people who are involved in the senior center. It's crazy. It is absolutely crazy.
It's a senior center.
It's money, honey.
So, that's all I have to say. I would be very annoyed if we weren't at least offered an explanation, a valid explanation, because all we're hearing is he said, we said, they said. That's it. That's what we've been hearing. So you can understand why everybody is in an uproar. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, Denise.
Can I just make an
Wait,
addendum? Oh, okay.
I'm sorry. Dave, did you want to speak, Dave?
Yeah. Hi, my name is David Harris. This is minor compared to the other concerns, but I got this in the mail from the Utility Delinquent Department of the Borough of Hapatcong.
I'm going to address that. Do you want to talk about it now or later?
Are you going to address it?
Do you want to talk about it now or later?
Okay. The only point I want to make is that the borough paid 69 cents for this letter, and I got charged 21 cents.
I agree.
I don't see how this is.
You will get no argument out of it.
And the other suggestion I might make is, why not, it used to be that we could pay our water bill and our taxes at the same time. Now it seems that there's different times. So why can't we make it the 10th of the month for both the water bill and the taxes? Because we get an extended period of 10 days to pay our taxes till the 10th of the month of August. But for the water, it's the first of the month, otherwise we get charged interest.
21 whole cents.
And the only other thing I'd like to mention is, will you be discussing or commenting on some of these ordinances?
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely. Anyone?
Maria,
Jane?
Yeah, just a real quick question. Like, how does something like this get rectified? Okay, because I know that the county is the one that started all this with the exercise.
I'm waiting for everyone to finish.
Okay,
speaking,
but
and
there
then
can be a rectification of some sort. I mean, if we have to go to another building or, you know, it just the way that it was not even presented, the way that it was brought to us. So, and everything they say is so true. And I understand the lunch bunch too. I mean, they're in there too. And this whole town is seniors. I mean, the board meetings over at school are always denied because they don't want to raise their taxes. So the whole town is seniors. And here we are at a senior center and they kind of like just push us away, like, you know, for no reason at all. And the way it was done, it was just not the right way. I don't know if the mayor can do it. I don't know why they didn't come and present it to us and say, this is what's going on. But to be there for as many years as they've been there, and I've only been there because I've just retired, so only been there a short time, and not say to us, all right, they're coming, they're going to stand here and they're going to tell you why you cannot be in there where the food is or where they're playing cards or whatever. But they left it up to Anna, and the poor women were like attacked because of the fact that, you know, everyone wants to say what they want to say and how they feel. And it's just things were not done right. And that's what's questionable. And, you know, everybody, you know, my daughter teaches exercise. She's got a gym. They have seniors. I asked her how they do senior exercise. She brought me there to show me. It's the same as Annette does. So, you know, they encourage you to exercise, they encourage you to nutrition, they encourage you, but then there's got to be a place for us, whether you have to build the building bigger.
For building a bigger building.
Or whatever, so.
What was your name?
Jamie Wynn. So I just the way it was done, just not the right way.
We're gonna take one more person on this topic that hasn't spoken. Are you gonna talk about the water bill?
Yes, I am. Hi, everybody. My name is Maureen. I've lived in town 51 years. I have a delinquent water bill notice for 8 cents. 8 cents. And I did pay it today at the water department and got a receipt, even though Joy wasn't there. The other lady who worked for tax collector could receive my money of 8 cents. How is that possible? Again, the gentleman said the envelope cost 69 cents. So I've been an accountant for 20-some years at a dealership. Never in my life would I let any of my APAR people mail out an 8-cent notice. So you're gonna address it?
I'm gonna address it.
Okay, I'll go sit down.
Can I ask you a silly question? Did you write a check or did you give 8 cents?
I wrote a check, oh no, today?
Yeah.
I gave it.
Okay.
And I gave a nickel. I gave a nickel and 3 pennies.
A nickel and 3 pennies?
8 pennies. I said, nickel and 3
I was just wondering. I've written
That was a valid question.
I've written a
That
check
was
for
a valid
42
question.
cents. Stupid.
Thank you for
Why am I
asking.
doing that? Just wondering, thank you.
Okay, can I have a motion to bring it back here?
Motion.
Second.
Okay, there's another second portion for open to the public at the end of the meeting. We have to get our meeting moving because there's a lot going on here. I will say in reference to the exercising at the senior center, I was not aware of the situation until I got I got a phone call from Annette about it. Once I did find out about it, I reached out to the administrator who started to get some more information from the center, from the employees at the center. I did finally hear from Lorraine Hens, who's the Executive Director of Senior Services for Sussex County. She was so concerned about this that she's on a cruise right now, that she reached out for me once she got the message to let me know that she wanted everybody that's involved to know that she is going to be back next week. We're going to meet with her. We're going to have a conversation. She is not happy that things are where they are currently. She has no intention of destroying an exercise program that's doing so well. And again, she is away, so I didn't press her for too many things. But I do know that there will be a conversation between ourselves and Lorraine and Annette, and nobody has any intention of destroying anything with the exercise group whatsoever. We want to enhance the lunch program. We want to enhance the exercise group. We want to be able to do all of the activities that we possibly can do for seniors. You know, for myself, being around a long time with the seniors, being the liaison to seniors for 16 years, I know a lot of you. I know a lot of what's happened since 1998 with the seniors. So I do know that the exercise has been around longer than that. So, and the lunch program has been around even longer than that. So there is going to be a commonality that does happen between both issues. It's just unfortunately not going to happen tonight. And this board cannot do any of that because it's all going to be done directly through the county. Because as you all know, the county lunch program, did you bring it, Neil?
I have it.
The contract. So we actually do have a contract that this borough, that this board voted on at the beginning of the year to allow the nutrition site to have access there between 9:30 and 2. So the activities that are happening there are activities happening and sanctioned for the lunch program through the county. So the exercise group is a continuance of an exercise program that existed before COVID. And then Annette was kind enough to volunteer to do it afterwards because there was no funding for the program. So that is all being talked about. That's all in consideration. And there is no decision that's going to be made, especially by this board. It'll all come through the county. But I certainly appreciate all of you coming out tonight. I know how difficult it is to talk in public, and I know how dear to your heart this is, and I can just tell by the passion that's in your voice. So I really do appreciate you coming out because it's just as important to us to make sure that everybody is happy because it is such a large group. And it's a great group of people who really, you're allowed to have, you're allowed to have differences of opinions, but there should never be anything adversarial that's happening at that center. And I certainly don't want this to do it.
Thank you. So then what are we supposed to do in the meantime? Like, what if it gets really cold?
Well, she's coming back next week. She's coming back next week. We'll have I'm sure that again, this is the executive director of senior services. This is not, we're not talking to somebody on the bottom of the food chain. This is a direct issue.
But we were told we cannot enter the building anymore. I can enter the building with the
barred
lunch
from the
bunch,
building.
but I
Yeah,
can't go
basically,
with
that's
the
what she
lunch
said.
bunch. Somebody from the county or somebody who has an issue with us?
So let me give you vacation for the week from exercise. And when Lorraine comes back on Monday, we will try to get the meeting as quickly as we can going.
Well, we can.
But you can attend for lunch. If they're part of the lunch bunch, you can absolutely attend for lunch.
Bundle up if it's chilly.
Well, again, you're welcome to go outside. And if need be, and you do, let me say this, if you still do want to try it, even though there's too many of you, if you do want to try it downstairs, we will make accommodations in the meantime for that, if that's possible, if that's something that you want to do.
Every speck of any furniture would have to be. Yeah, take it away.
Marie, I
Sewer, it
just
smells
want
like
to say
sewer
that
down there.
when we go there, every time I've gone, there's older women sitting up in their tea. As soon as we come in, they're like, and here, as soon as they hear rock around the clock, they get up and they start doing the exercise too. I mean, this is so hard for us. We can't.
We will come up with a solution, we will.
Yeah.
Because again, it's a major issue and we know that we have to take care of it.
Okay,
But
well,
thank
thank
you.
everybody. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Listening to us.
Okay, moving along with our meeting.
Let's get over this, yeah.
We have the approval of the meetings from August 2nd. Ms. Roberts and Mr. Smith are not eligible to vote.
Ms. Smith.
I'm sorry, Ms. Smith.
Mr. Smith and Mr.
Ms.
Roberts.
Roberts, yeah, we said Ms. Roberts and Mr. Smith.
We see
It's
it,
Mr.
right?
Smith?
We see.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
you wrote them.
No, I didn't. I did, well, I did the agenda. I didn't do the minutes, so I'm
Okay.
actually, I had the wrong person there.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Roll call.
Okay. Ms. Johnson,
Yes.
Ms. Roberts,
Abstain.
Ms. Rodriguez,
Yes.
That's all we have.
And Mr. Smith
Mr.
is
Smith
abstaining, but you said because,
abstaining,
but we have a
so
quorum,
we
so
have-
we can pass that, right? Even though we abstained?
Well, we have 2 yeses, 2 abstains, so that's
fine,
okay?
yes, yes.
Because there's a, yeah.
That's still, yeah.
Taught me last meeting.
Okay, moving along to correspondence, I have a few correspondence. The first one is to Jen Polachina. I wanted to take a moment to sincerely thank you for all the time, effort, and consideration you've shown the Borough of Hopatcon. Your generous donations of binders, clips, chairs, conference room tables is greatly appreciated, and your assistance in coordinating with our DPW to handle and transport the office furniture from Burke Giblin was truly above and beyond. It means so much that you took time out of your busy workday to personally ensure these items reached us, even using your own personal vehicle and setting things aside until they could be picked up. Your thoughtfulness and dedication will benefit the entire borough, and we are deeply grateful to you. We are deeply grateful for your support. Thank you again for thinking of Hopatcon and for all that you've done for our community. Our second one is to thank you to our generous donor. On behalf of the Borough of Hopatcon, I would like to extend our deepest gratitude to Mr. Burke Giblin for the incredibly generous donation of office furniture and supplies. Your contribution, including the filing cabinets, clips, pens, bookcases, shelves, conference tables, desks, and even a refrigerator and the stainless steel table, will be put to great use across various borough facilities, including our council chambers, administrative offices, police department, senior center, and so much more. Your thoughtfulness in donating these items after downsizing your office demonstrates a commendable commitment to our community and support. We are truly fortunate to benefit from your generosity, and these resources will greatly enhance our ability to serve the residents of Hopatcon. Thank you once again for all your kindness and support. Okay. This one is from Congressman Kane's office. Dear Mayor Galati, this summer I publicly called on the residents of 7th Congressional District to nominate a senior to be recognized through my Seniors of Distinction program. I asked family members, neighbors, colleagues, and others to nominate hardworking, generous individuals who have been living a life of public service through their professional, personal, philanthropic, and volunteer efforts. I received the names of many individuals who exemplify the very best of our communities, state, and country from throughout the 6 counties that comprise the 7th Congressional District. I am very proud to announce that Miss Ida Brown and Miss Donna Moser are among those individuals nominated and selected to be recognized as 2024's Senior of Distinction.
Hey, Miss Ida. Donna left. She was here.
I thought that was
but she
fabulous.
left.
It's nice to be recognized for things in Hopatcon, especially from congressional levels. I think it's great. So there is a notice that is appearing on our Facebook page and our website. I think it went up this afternoon, late this afternoon. Please be advised, water delinquent notices were mailed to residents with small balances under $3.08. This is not a standard practice and was due to a software issue, which has been corrected and will not happen again in the future. If you have received a notice with a small balance under $3, you may wait to make this payment until the next water billing period due on November 1st, 2024. We apologize for any frustration and inconvenience this may have caused. Thank you. So it was just a computer glitch that happened. It's not something that we normally do. And I'm sure all of you know that are on the water system that this has never happened before. And if we can help it, it's never going to happen again. And these are not mailed out by someone who sits and folds the bills and puts them in envelopes where they could catch it. It's all done through, you know, a company that prints everything out and mails everything out for us. So apologize for the inconvenience, but it won't happen again. Okay, moving along. Resolution 2024-114 for the bill list. Can I have a motion for the bill list?
Motion.
Second?
Aye.
What?
Yeah, second. I don't know where I am right now. I need something removed. Because of course I do. Yes. 23-01770. can I remove that? Yes.
You can make a motion without removed.
Okay, so can I make a motion to move the bills list without that?
23-00070.
01770.
1770. Got it.
And
I have a-
23-01770.
And I just have a quick question. Just to confirm, there are supposed to be, because I know there's 3 hydrant charges on here, which is fine, but are there supposed to be 2 for 724? The bottom of the first page, there's 2.
Bottom of the first page? Oh, hydrant repairs.
There's 2 there, and then there's 1 at the top of the following page as well.
Yeah, for this, the 2, I'm gonna look into that. The one on the top is correct. But
Okay.
one of those could be removed from the bottom, so.
So do
why
we
don't
want to pull both
let's
of them?
Let's pull both of those.
Okay.
Right, so can I modify my motion or do I have to make a new motion?
You can modify your motion because I don't think it's seconded yet.
No, because I want to. Okay, because they don't want to abstain on the 23, that's why. The first bill I pulled, I want to abstain on. All of us want to abstain on.
I thought you wanted to pull them.
We want to,
I
we
wanna
want to pull the hydrant. You and I want to abstain on the 23,
Got it,
and then we want to
Pull
pull
the
the
hydrants.
2 hydrants.
Yeah.
got it.
So we move.
So we have to move it.
All of them, and then we'll only vote on 01770.
Got it. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
So what were the?
Those are right here, 24-01374.
Okay, we have a motion and a second.
Do you have a second?
Well, Ms. Johnson seconded.
I motion.
I made the motion for the bills. You said aye.
Okay, yes, I second then.
Yeah, so we have second.
Okay, a roll call.
Again,
Ms. Johnson,
Yes.
I thought you were abstaining.
Ms. Roberts.
Oh, you.
No.
We're doing the whole
This is-
list right
this is
now.
everything
This is the
except
whole
the-
list.
Yes,
Mine
yes.
is the whole list.
I got you, John, don't worry.
I don't know if that's from
Ms.
this year.
Rodriguez,
Yes.
Mr. Smith.
Yes.
Okay, can I have a
That
motion
means it doesn't
for
get paid.
23-01770?
So moved.
You're not gonna get a second. You're not gonna get a second. She doesn't know what it's for.
I don't know what that's for. And it's for 23.
War Nielsen Ford Interceptor. Yep,
It's a police car.
police car. Yep.
It's a police car.
I don't know. I don't know what it's for.
9.
But-
It's right on the bills list. Ford Interceptor.
Yeah, I see it.
So you guys bought that last year and that's the bill for that. That's pulled from the 23 budget. So it had
Because
to
you
have been
can't get, you
something,
don't get the cars right away.
right, it had to have been something.
So
that
it
was
just-
approved.
It's
It's
getting
like a
paid now.
housekeeping
Right.
issue.
Say what?
It's getting paid now.
They're
Yeah,
getting paid
Because
for
we
the
just,
cars
was
already bought.
we received.
Oh,
happens a lot.
The
It
purchase
does?
order came through,
That's
we
typical?
received the car, we
Mhm.
have to
Yeah, it
pay
takes
for
forever
it.
to get police car.
Yeah,
all righty.
You see, we're gonna pass these tonight. and
Yeah.
then
We don't
them
buy those off the shelf.
Next year.
Well, that's what I'm thinking, because we're passing these other group. Okay. Second, yes. They're gonna get paid, we have it.
Roll
right?
call?
Yeah.
Ms. Johnson,
Abstain?
Ms. Roberts,
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez,
Abstain.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
and you 2 abstains or 2
Passes.
yes votes.
Yeah.
Okay, resolution.
Oh, wait, we have to make the motion to pull.
No, we already did.
We
that.
already
that's both,
that.
that's
Did it
both
on
part of
the
the
first.
first, yep.
Just kidding.
See, like, okay, sorry.
2024-115, authorizing MGL Printing Solutions LLC as a required disclosure vendor. This is allowing this Printing Solutions to be a vendor for the Borough of Athol.
I'll make a motion.
Second,
Roll call?
Ms. Johnson,
Yes.
Ms. Roberts.
yes.
Ms. Rodriguez,
Yes.
Mr. Smith.
Yes.
2024-116, liquor license renewal for Hudson Farm, Inc. for 2023-2024.
So moved.
Second,
Roll call?
Ms. Johnson,
Yes.
Ms. Roberts.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Mr. Smith.
Yes.
2024-117 liquor license renewal for Hudson Farm Club, Inc. for 2024-2025.
So moved.
Second.
Can we just have a discussion? So they have two different liquor licenses?
No, 2 different years.
Two different years.
23 to 25.
It's kind of a housekeeping again.
Okay, thank
Well,
you.
the first one's a housekeeping.
Got it. Mhm.
And a roll call?
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Ms. Roberts.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Mr. Smith.
Yes.
Thank you. Resolution 2024-118, authorization of procurement of vehicles, which are police vehicles.
So moved.
Second.
This is an acquisition of two 2024 Dodge Durango Pursuit all-wheel drive patrol vehicles through the New Jersey Division of Purchasing and Property State Contract. Do we have a second? Roll call.
Ms. Johnson.
Can I ask a question before we roll call? So because this is procured through the state contract, we don't have to go out to bid. Is that correct?
Correct.
That is correct.
Yes.
Ms. Roberts.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Mr. Smith.
Yes.
Thank you. 2024-119, authorization for hunting licenses on municipal property.
So moved.
Second, and discussion.
Can I, yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's okay. I just wanted to ask a question. Is there a fee? Is this going to be any kind of revenue?
No.
No.
There's never been a fee.
There's never been a fee.
We do this every year. We have to pass this every year.
I know, but
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, we got a lot going out.
They have
Maybe
to
at
have
some
hunting
point we can
license. Everybody
discuss.
has to have a hunting license to hunt.
Yes.
We're just
So
allowing them
they're,
to do
they're
it on
paying the
public
state
property.
already for that.
If you want to try to restrict that, you'd have to have
That's
a
not what I
mechanism
said.
to restrict that.
I'm not trying to restrict anyone.
Right.
I'm just trying to. I just wanted to know if it was appropriate. If it's not, that's fine. I can be corrected. I was just wanting to know if it's appropriate to charge a fee.
It's not.
Okay,
It's not typical and it's not appropriate.
but yeah, it's a question, not a restriction.
Understood.
No, good question.
Can we specify the block and lots for municipal property? Because I'm sure there may be people who think municipal property is just municipal
They have a map.
property.
We have to by law hand them, we have to give them a map when they sign up.
Well, it's on
Yeah,
the
The
thing.
resolution is just for the nature preserve and the block and lots are listed in the ordinance.
Which ordinance is it? Do you know? No. Okay.
I don't know, but I know it's its own section.
Okay, got it.
I'll tell you in a second.
We have a motion and a second.
We do.
Roll call?
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Ms. Roberts.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
And Mr. Smith.
Yes.
Thank you. Authorization for construction permit refund block 31401 lot 38
So moved.
Second.
and a roll call.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Ms. Roberts.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Mr. Smith.
Yes.
2024-121, authorization to refund and cancel future property tax block 40108 lot 13
So moved.
Second.
and a roll call.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Ms. Roberts.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Mr. Smith.
Yes.
2024-122, authorization to purchase a DPW vehicle.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. This is one of the trucks we discussed during our budgeting meetings, correct?
Yes,
For this
this is a quote for a 2024 Ford Super Duty F-350 SRW four-wheel drive Super Cab 8-box.
Is this the one replacing the really super old one?
Yes.
Okay. What did they call him?
R43, I think it was, or.
No.
They call him like Limpy or something.
Oh.
He's like.
That was the number of the truck.
Bumper. I
No,
don't
they
know.
call him a name. They call him.
Yeah.
There's a name.
It did
So
have-
You
old.
don't want to call him the name.
Oh, okay, my bad. I think she put in quotes on the
Call him the
resolution.
name. Motion and second.
Yes.
And a roll call.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Ms. Roberts.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Mr. Smith.
Yes.
The truck? No, the truck's name. They call him a funny name.
They have a nickname for the truck
Yeah,
because
for
it
the
makes a
truck,
noise and I
not
think
for
they
the
named it the
person.
noise. It's a
don't know who
priority.
drives the
Can you
truck.
please email Pat for the name of the truck?
I'll get the name.
Okay, 2024-123, the Animal Pound agreement with Sparta. If you've all gone through this, I've had a conversation with Gianna and with the police chief. You all know how I feel about the contracts that we have with the other municipalities because I believe that they're underpaying for our services, but this one is pretty ironclad and solid, so I'm happy with it.
So moved. Second, and discussion. So I know we're hiring for a part-time ACO officer, or ACO. Do we have the vehicles to support the municipalities we're supporting with the second ACO? Because we have what, one vehicle now?
Do we have enough space in the shelters is my concern.
Or, yeah, so in terms of the
Well,
cars.
the ACO has said that this is something that's acceptable, that feels that.
But I'm asking about the cars. Do we have the cars for?
I believe that she's saying yes, that with what they have, that it's functional because she was given the opportunity that if there was a problem to let
Yeah.
us know it's something
She
and
would-
she didn't. I
That's
think
some-
she would have.
Yeah, we'll have a conversation with the mayor and I as we move forward to the next year as well to see if there's anything needed in regards to that budgetary.
Okay.
Okay. Do we have a motion in a second?
Second.
Oh, we.
I think we did it.
Yeah, yeah.
And a roll call?
Ms. Johnson,
Yes.
Ms. Roberts.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Mr. Smith.
Yes.
Okay, 2024-124, the Hudson Sewer Payment Plan. You have in front of you the newer version of.
Oh.
You okay?
Mine's next.
You have the newer version with the new amortization schedule after the last meeting. I believe our conversations that we had with the attorney, we had decided that we would change the payback for the payback schedule for the assessment fee to be more in line with what the actual loan is. The hookup fee is by ordinance, so that's a one-time fee by ordinance, and usage is usage.
I don't know. So there's a separate resolution that has the term of the loan on it, the amortization.
Mhm.
I don't have that resolution. I have two resolutions, but they're the exact same.
Yeah.
Resolution 2024-124.
Yeah.
What's the other resolution?
They're the same.
They're
No,
the
no,
same,
I- I-
two identical.
Okay.
They're the same.
Yeah, so
Are they both within this packet at the same area?
No, one was in the front.
Okay.
One was on the
The
back.
front is the old one.
That was just a mistake.
That was
I
the
was
old
gonna say, I
one.
only have one.
The one that's in the packet itself is the one
Okay, but no.
that's official.
paragraph number
They're the
4 is
same.
It's that for some reason.
I don't
it
think
just
they
looks
are.
differently.
They're exactly the same.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, that was a mistake. It went in twice. The
Okay.
same thing
Okay,
got
so
put
it's
in
the
the
same.
front of the packet on some of them, and I guess I just didn't get yours out.
Mayor, do you want me to talk about the repayment?
Sure, that would be great.
Okay, so look, you can talk about whatever part of resolution you want, but I think the only slightly open issue is that the way the resolution is currently worded under number 4 is that the payback period for the special assessment is supposed to be in sync with the payback period for the loan. Okay, we had some internal discussion about that. The amortization schedule, it's my understanding that the loan is paid back in August of 2041. So it may make sense to amend this ordinance, to amend this resolution to set the payback period to either be 15 or 16 years. I think it's gonna be easier for the tax collector to manage that and calculate it if you gave a set period of years, rather than trying to sync it up with when the notices go out and when the last payment is due in August of 2041. I think it might just be better for everybody if you made it a set term of years. So, that's my comment there. And I don't think it changes the homeowner's payments, really in any kind of material way, whether it's 15 or 16 years.
I don't have a problem. So I have to make an emotion to amend it, right? To say
If
15
you
years.
could either leave it as written, so it's the time period of the loan, or you could, add a little clarity and have a set time period to pay back.
Okay. I'm okay with the 15 years. I'll make the motion for 15 years. But I also want the amount added into this resolution of what the assessment is.
Well, it's attached.
Can you read that?
Can I read this?
Because the assessment, I mean, I
The-
know,
the
I know what the assessment is and that.
The
I don't-
assessment's in the far right column, 7,600.
It's this one
It's the
at the top.
So these are people who've made payments then, because the special assessment was over $10,000 in the original resolution. It was $10,180 something dollars. Not 7,614.
No, this is,
If you look at the resolution from 2023.
I agree with you. I remember the dollar amount being
10,000.
correct.
Well, this is the resolution from 2023.
Are we prepared to pass this tonight, or do we need more time to research?
So the issue is that you have a billing cycle on here, right? You have to notify these people. It says you have to notify them in 10 days. They have 90 days to hook up.
Have a good night, ladies.
Have a good night, ladies.
Thanks for listening.
It's I was sure that the amount of the special assessment is $10,152.45.
So all I'm asking is that we amend this resolution to say that, so there's no further confusion about whether one thing says 7,600, one thing says 10,000. So we,
Where those numbers come from.
It was,
You have to show where those numbers came from.
there was a hearing where that was presented and it was recommended to the council and the council adopted it. That's all been done.
Is that public record?
It's public record, it was done at public meetings.
Sewer bills, and how we all had to pay 20 years ago or whatever.
This
I don't think any of us had 16 years to pay our.
Okay, we can't go back and forth with the audience right now till we figure out what's happening.
so that's what I would amend the resolution to say, that it has the amount of the assessment of 10,000, whatever it is, and then say 15 years. So the amounts are to be paid in installments over the next, over 15 years. Over 15 years.
7,000 is not the correct amount.
7,000 is not the correct amount.
Somebody put it down. It came from somewhere.
So that's what my amendment would be.
Got it.
So can you give me that amount again? 10,000.
10,152.45.
45, and then to be paid installments over 15 years?
Correct.
From when?
15 years, starting with the fourth quarter of 2024.
All right, so then I'm gonna make a motion to amend number 4. Allowing the amount due, $10,154.45 to be paid in installments over 15 years, starting fourth quarter 2024. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna second you, Joe.
So we have the 10,152.45 is the assessed fee. We have the hookup fee, which is by connection fee, which is by ordinance, which is 186-11 connection fee. So that's spelled out specifically there. That can't be altered or changed. And then you have usage fees.
Right. So then maybe my other question about this is, should the hookup fee be put in here? That it's locked
No,
in?
It's locked in by ordinance.
Right, but if we change the ordinance, I don't want it to change for anybody. Oh, well, they only have 90 days. We're not gonna change the ordinance.
not
I got
gonna
it.
change.
Okay, I just wanna make sure. Okay,
So we pass this, then how
So we
soon
have
do
to pass to
notices,
amend
how
it?
soon do notices go out?
So I know the administrator has already worked with the tax collector on the form of the notice. And this resolution requires it to go out within either 10
10 days.
10 days,
10 days,
and they have 90 days to hook up.
Correct.
correct. Just like all the previous
Everybody
sewer
else,
customers,
right.
yes.
And then
Usage starts.
The hookup, the usage starts, but the hookup fee is to be paid at the time of hookup.
Correct.
Correct.
Wait a minute, this says that she's authorized to collect the connection fee within eight installments over
No,
24
No,
months.
that's incorrect.
that's not correct.
But that was talked about a lot.
That's what this says, though.
That was
That's what mine
talked about.
says.
Yes, but that's not the resolution, that's the correct resolution.
Okay, can I see a copy of the correct resolution then?
Yes.
Number 2.
Okay, so this part here is out.
So it should say all property owners on Exhibit A shall pay the connection fee set forth in the ordinance at the time of connection.
Fin, yeah. I don't maybe that was my scratch. Okay, so that way with the amendments, got it, okay. So now I have to vote to amend it, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
You've introduced it as amended.
so then we can just vote.
You can ready.
It was
you're ready to
seconded by
vote.
Dawn.
I'll second.
And roll call?
Ms. Johnson,
Yes,
Ms. Roberts,
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez,
Yes.
and Mr. Smith.
Yes.
Thank you. 2024-125, authorization awarding a contract for heat tracing and tank installation to Paxos Electric. This is for the heat tracing that goes on to the carbon filtration systems that are outside the well houses that are already fitted with the carbon filtration systems. These systems are new, carbon filtration is new with PFAS. What happens is all of our wells are not very big buildings. So these carbon filtration systems, you've seen it before you go over the River Styx Bridge, it's really big tanks, they freeze. So the unfortunate thing is we have the heat tracing has become a very good solution for us. So this is just doing it on more of our wells that we already have the carbon filtration systems on.
So moved.
second,
And a roll call?
Ms. Johnson,
yes.
Ms. Roberts,
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez,
Yes.
Mr. Smith.
Yes.
Moving along to the introduction of ordinances, ordinance 14-2024, floodplain management. Ordinance by the council amending the Borough of Hopatcong to repeal Chapter 124 floodplain management and regulations to adopt the new chapter 124 flood damage prevention and flood hazard area regulation to adopt flood hazard maps to designate a floodplain administrator. This is one of those ordinances that we have to pass by the state.
Yes, this is a mandate from the NJDEP and FEMA, and it's required to keep your borough-wide stormwater permit in order. It's very burdensome and not our idea, but it is required to be passed, and it had to be, this is actually one of the few ordinances that actually had to be sent down to the state and the county separately to be reviewed and approved by powers higher than you.
Okay. And John Rushby's looked at this and he's
shepherded the whole process, yes.
perfect.
Yes, John Rushby has been involved with this since absolute day one.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
And a roll call?
It's
Ms.
half the
Johnson.
agenda. Yes.
Ms. Roberts.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez,
Yes.
Mr. Smith.
No.
All right, thank you. Ordinance 15-2024, road openings. Ordinance of the Borough of Hopatcong, County of Sussex, and State of New Jersey, replacing Borough Code Chapter 205 for streets and sidewalks.
So moved.
I'll second. Do you want to explain what it?
Want me to say something?
Not there yet. I'm still.
Yeah,
flipping
so
through the fun stuff.
you previously had a road opening ordinance, but it was fairly old. And since the natural gas project is coming to the borough, I know the mayor brought it up, and I know the engineer was in agreement that it was a good time to update your road opening ordinance, which inserted quite a bit of standards for once roads are paved, they can't be reopened for a certain amount of time. It designates the way that certain repairs and the gas pipelines or other work around the roads and sidewalks is done. So this is fully updated and reviewed by both the DPW and the borough engineer.
So in a nutshell, the problematic road tragedies that transpired after the sewer project and all the different phases will not happen with this. The roads will be restored.
Got it.
In all these pages, that's what that means.
And what's the moratorium period?
I think it's 5.
5 years.
Once it's paid, you can't open it for 5 years. That's with gas or that's with everything?
Everything.
Got it.
Because the last thing you want, especially like with the gas, like with the reason why we're moving some of the roads to be paved in the heights to different areas, because we know they're starting in the heights. So there's no point in paving those roads and having them open them. So they're changing the paving schedule, but this makes it so you don't have that with anything. And the good thing about this is it will make sure that every road is passable, if not better than it was beforehand, before they did the project.
Now, our residents, sorry, just general question, thinking of the natural gas, they're made aware, right? Obviously, there's like a connection period, but does it specify the moratorium period on there that the road
Yes, we're
cannot
notified.
be
Yes, when we got all of our information from New Jersey Natural Gas, it is a meeting that you have with the engineer of the project and the manager of the project. They physically come to your home. They physically leave you with the information, so you know if you are not hooking up, because you do have the opportunity to not hook up. If you are not hooking up, you will not be able to hook up once they pave the road for 5 years.
Okay.
On Brooklyn Stanhope Wills Road, that's a county road, so that was the county specification was 5 years for the moratorium. So we knew going in, if you did not hook up right away, that you had to wait 5 years at least. Roll call?
Ms. Johnson?
Yes.
Ms. Roberts?
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Okay. Ordinance 16-2024, joint municipal court, an ordinance of the Borough of Hopatcong, County of Sussex, and State of New Jersey to amend Chapter 13, Court, Joint Municipal Court, Section 13-1, creation, name, jurisdiction of the Borough Code. So this is a little bit of housekeeping again. This is allowing the joint court to have administrators of the court. It would be our municipal administrator, and in his absence, it is the municipal clerk.
So it's not 3 people, it's 2 people.
Just 2 people.
Just 2
Yep.
people.
Because the way I read it, it's 3.
Yeah, everybody in this, besides Andover, excluded their court personnel. So just like us, they don't have a court administrator.
Got it.
The only administrator is held by Andover.
So you are the joint municipal court liaison.
Correct.
Got it. So they're missing a comma grammatically.
Yeah, because I read that as 3 people.
I read
too,
it
the
as 3 people.
administrator,
That's
the
why I was like,
liaison,
who's gonna be the
and the
liaison? You're like me,
administrator.
and I'm like,
They
no.
came straight from that.
Do we have a motion and second?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
And a roll call?
Ms. Johnson?
Yes.
Ms. Roberts?
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez?
Yes.
And Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Thank you. Ordinance 17-2024, amendment, violation, and penalties. An ordinance of the Borough of Hopatcong, County of Sussex, and State of New Jersey, amending the Borough Code to add and replace Section 66-20 regarding fines.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Roll call, sorry.
Ms. Johnson?
Yes.
Ms. Roberts?
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
We have no final hearing. Old business. Does anybody have any old business? Okay, so discussion regarding bulk pickup. I had asked to put this onto the agenda about some of the conversation that's taking place in reference to the recycling issue. We had received notification from our hauler, Roselli, that they would no longer be taking recycling in plastic bags. They now want everything in a can. Apparently, from the beginning, it's always supposed to have been in a can. They were allowing the bags to be picked up. However, they are no longer allowing that to happen. So we have a notice that appears on our municipal website and our Facebook page that says, please be advised that effective immediately, any recycling that is placed in plastic colored or clear bags will no longer be accepted at the curb. This information is direct from our hauler. Please make sure you make the proper corrections to this for the next recycling week. This started on August 26th. I do have these color leaflets that we're allowing the public to take outside the municipal building. And this basically tells you what goes in a recycling bin and what does not go in a recycling bin. There are a lot of issues, especially shredded paper was the one big question that I received. Everything that we follow in all of these directives that we're getting from Roselli, our hauler, is directly from the DEP's website. So it is not something that Roselli themselves has chosen to do to our residents. It is something that the state has mandated. They just have not caught up with us and made us do it as quickly as we should have done it. We should have been doing it from the beginning. I think there were a lot of people, I forget what the percentage was of what they said was cans and what was bags, but a lot of the trouble that they're having are, you know, they have fires. Everything goes on a conveyor belt. When you have the paper, it creates friction, it creates fires. When you shred your paper, once you shred it, it has to go in your garbage. It cannot go in recycling anymore. It's not recycling. If you really have any questions or any concerns about anything that's not on this list, we need to encourage the residents to go to the DEP website to see exactly what the DEP is allowing to be recycling and what's not allowed to be recycling. They dictate where it can go in what can. Your recycling can does not have to say recycling. It does not have to be a blue can. You don't have to spend $60 doing it. You just cannot put your recycling out in a clear bag or a colored bag. Your garbage can still go out in bags. I want to make sure that everybody heard that garbage can still go out in bags because people were losing their minds thinking that they couldn't put their garbage in bags, and you most certainly can put your garbage in bags. So does anybody have any questions about?
Not a question, I guess, just more so a comment. I think, I feel like we fell a little flat in terms of the information sharing because we put out a notice saying, hey, no more plastic bags and containers, but didn't offer this or any other solution. So I would like us to be a little bit more proactive going forward, where if things are changing, the residents should anticipate we're giving them alternatives instead of, hey, sorry, no more.
Sure, and we will add this to our website and our Facebook page. We will add this so that people have it, and we will encourage them that if they do have questions, they can get it directly from the source of the DEP, and it's very self-explanatory when you do go onto their site.
You need to pixel it. Not everybody's on the Facebook or the webpage, and half my neighborhood didn't even know about it.
You know,
Needs to be
you know what, it's okay. It's something that we can add to other mailers that go home,
No,
whether it's in.
pixel that they're not taking plastic bags.
Yeah.
Oh, a nixel alert.
Nixel, whatever.
Yes.
Pixel.
Yeah.
I thought you were reading pixels of the pictures.
I was like, we'll make it clearer, Lynn, we'll make it
Nobody
clear.
goes to the Facebook page. I'm like the council person in my neighborhood. Hold on.
That's actually a very good idea, Lynn.
Blast it out there.
I'm actually gonna write that down in the next announcement for that.
Well, I got an Excel about plastic bags.
Mm-mm.
Can we can send images over the Excel, right?
No. No, we're very antiquated with our Excel. Which is okay. Okay, our zoning report for June. A motion to accept the zoning report for June.
So me.
Second.
And a roll call.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Ms. Roberts.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Mr. Smith.
Yes.
And a motion to accept the tax collector's report for July.
I'll make a motion.
And a second.
I'll second.
And a roll call.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Ms. Roberts.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Mr. Smith.
Yes.
Can I bring something up in new business? Is that possible?
Sure.
With the mailing and the 69 cents for the mailing, is there a way that we can look into a bulk mailing license for the borough? I think that there was question about whether or not we had one.
Well, we started, sorry, go ahead,
Started
finish.
looking for it, right? And then it was kind of just fell by the wayside. But I think the other big thing is I think that sending out tri-fold pieces of paper in full envelopes, having it done by a company that we're spending thousands of dollars on, is not cost effective, we could send it out on postcards that are gonna cost a lot less for the borough. And those could be done and printed here with a bulk mailing label. And I think that would save us a lot of money.
Yeah, the paper machine in the back, it's basically collecting dust. I mean, we can print, we can
It's antiquated, it's
trifold.
actually broken. We've already started
Yeah.
getting quotes on new machines to save money for that.
Even to do postcards.
Now, it's been broken for several years and
Yeah.
we're paying
Yeah.
well over $10,000 plus a year to have another company do what we can be doing in-house and
Right,
saving a
and they're
lot of
doing,
money.
they're doing this, I know, I get my sewers green, water's yellow, taxes are white, like, there's no need for an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper to go out every single it's 3 times 4 is 12 times a year, right?
Mhm.
For a bill that's coming every month, you know what I mean? Like, you're paying for something to go out to 7,500 residents is 12 times a year. So if we could look into that, that would be great. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, because we discussed that, and I think I was asking some of the employees how the mailing machine in the back even works. So I was trying to,
But you did it. You got it to work on the first.
I got the
try.
trifold machine to work one time, then I think I broke it more, so.
So you're paying for that? No, I'm just kidding.
I will.
That was all. Thank you.
No, actually, it's a great idea, and we talk about it because the mailing, the system that we use is not just for water bills, sewer bills, and for tax bills. You also have late notices that go out for water, late notices that go out for sewer, late notices that go out for taxes.
But it's every department.
And again, it's not just that department, then you move into construction, and it's in the construction department too, for zoning notices, and it just.
But that can go on a postcard. It doesn't need to go on an 8.5 by
You're right.
11.
You're absolutely right.
piece
You're
of
absolutely
paper.
right. Absolutely right.
Save some more.
Was that it for new business?
Yes.
Okay. I have one thing for, it's kind of new business because it refers to New Jersey Natural Gas. I've just heard a lot of different questions in the last few weeks about New Jersey Natural Gas. I believe they're still confirmed coming on the September 18th meeting is our next meeting. I believe that they're coming to that next meeting where they're going to do a presentation for us. But there are a few things that I just want to mention. The New Jersey Natural Gas project is being paid for by New Jersey Natural Gas. It is not being paid for by the Borough of Hopatcon at all. So the fact that they are able to put gas lines in the entire town, including Northwood, is
At the end.
is because at the end of the project, is because they're paying for it. They are a public utility that has the dollars and the cents to install this project and continue with whatever rock we have wherever it is. They are currently in Sparta and Byram doing their lines, and in Stanhope. So they're familiar with the rock. They're not crazy. They told us they weren't crazy that day. They knew that it's coming here. But there's a couple of reasons why we can't do sewer and water at the same time. And one of the things is they cannot go into the same trench that the gas line goes into. The gas lines are not as deep as sewer and water. They're a little bit higher in the ground. There's also an issue with sewer capacity. We are very close to our sewer capacity to be able to take on new customers. So to have us run sewer lines, not that we have the money to do that, but for us to run sewer lines, we have to have the gallonage for those people that are flushing to be able to be taken at the MSA, because we pay for gallonage. We pay the MSA to take our sewer gallonage. If I'm not mistaken, we have 80,000 gallons. I think it's 80,000 gallons that we have for sewage. That's not the whole town. It never was the whole town. So there is a reason why we're not doing sewer and water at the same time. Our water system that we have, again, if we're installing water lines going down a street that has no water right now, currently the homeowners themselves approach the town. They're having trouble with their wells. They approach the town. The homeowners on those streets, just like the sewer assessment, they're paying their water assessment to get the water line extended down their streets. All of the residents are not paying for that. The people that are asking for that water main to be extended are who are paying for it. And then there is a hookup fee that they pay, and then there's water usage. And it's the same thing with the sewer line. The sewer line was put in on streets, and then you pay a hookup fee, and then you're paying usage. That project that we had for the sewers in the first phase, the second phase.
That was it.
The second phase of the second phase, and then the third phase, and then we had the punch list. The punch list was like 2010. But once we got through all that, there really is no phase 4 sewer plan. You know, there's a possibility that this governing body or a future governing body might be able to do that, but right now we don't have a phase 4 plan. There are some people, when their septics fail, if they know that there is a sewer main pretty close to their street, they have approached the municipality. They have paid for the construction to connect into that themselves, but the borough has not expended any money because these projects are multi-million, if not billion-dollar projects that we just do not have the dollars and cents to extend the water or the sewer anywhere in Hopakon unless someone approaches us first. We do not have any issues with our sewer system. Our sewer system is very standard. Our water system is very standard. There's no issues whatsoever. Bringing in more customers on the system and not having the gallonage would, actually the MSA would not, I can't even say that because the MSA would never allow us to do that unless they had the gallonage to take from us. So anybody that does have questions about sewer and water and not right now, Jerry. Anybody that does have questions about sewer and water and things like that, you know, don't put things out there, especially, I'm going to say Facebook, on Facebook where somebody is a know-it-all. If you want to know the answer to a question, come to someone that sits on this board or come to the municipality. You can email us. You saw the woman who, you know, reached out for Councilwoman Johnson, Councilwoman Rodriguez, and, you know, they brought everything forward. Everybody had the information and we had a nice, lively discussion. So everything we do here is completely transparent. Everything we do here is out in the open. So don't believe what you read on Facebook unless you're reading it from someone who has the information. So that was my natural gas issue. So moving along, out of new business and into public comment. So we're open to the public again.
I'll make a motion.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna just explain the rules again. So we're gonna open to the public again. You're gonna have the ability to speak for 5 minutes. Again, you have to address the board. You cannot address the audience in a whole. And we will get your answers to you as best as we possibly can. Can I have a motion to open?
We have a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, I'm gonna ask for Jerry first, Dave, because she's had her hand up for a very long time right there.
Please don't mind.
No, that's okay, Jerry.
Is killing me. When we had the electrical failure the other night, I heard that it was because part of us, Hopakon, was hooked up to Mount Arlington, and they were doing work in Mount Arlington, and JCP&L accidentally shut part of Hopakon down.
Okay, so some of that is true and some of that is not true. So with JCP&L, especially since Sandy, what they've done is they have a lot of cutoffs. So instead of an entire section or an entire area being out, they've been installing these cutoffs. So as soon as a power outage happens, it can be rerouted somewhere else. That's not done everywhere yet, especially Northwood. That isn't happening in Northwood. But our power does not just come into Hopakon from the sky. It comes in from all the other towns around us. In Sandy specifically, when we had no power in town, that was specifically, you okay?
Sure, right?
Okay, good. When we had our power outage in Sandy, that was because where our power actually comes in, which was, I believe in Boonton, wasn't even here, was completely destroyed. So they had to repair that before we could even get power coming this way. So our power doesn't magically come out of the sky. It's coming in from different areas. It is coming in from Mount Arlington. The issue that I just spoke of on the 28th or the 29th with the groundhog that fried, that ate through, that was in Jefferson. And that didn't affect the whole town. It affected little pieces of Hopakon. JCP&L, from what I've gotten in my meetings with them, I've only been here for 9 months. I mean, I've had 9 meetings with them, but they're a work in progress. And the greatest thing that I can say about JCP&L at this point in time is a lot of the newer technology that's coming in, they're picking up on the newer technology, but they also have a lot of very young-minded and very young, energetic people that are out there trying to make things work too. They've made themselves available. You know, we can call them, you know, when the power is out, you know, we call them, we let them know we're looking for information. You know, they'll get back to the administrator as soon as possible. We have a lot more information now from JCP&L, I think, than we've ever had. I don't think that they're great. I wouldn't give them any great grades, but I think that they're better than they were, and they're continuing to try to improve themselves, and they do show that to us.
Can I ask you 2 more?
Okay.
Do we still have a town contract with Optimum?
Yes, we have a franchise with Optimum. It's a 10-year franchise with Optimum. The franchise is for the lines that exist, and there's nobody else at Optimum that ever applies to be part of the franchise. So.
Whatever it is.
Network.
Okay. I have that so many problems with it. That's why I was wondering. My third question was because you were talking about sewers. I was part of the initial phase for the
Mhm.
sewers. We were told back then that we would only be paying for 10 years.
Okay, I've never heard the 10-year rumor. I do know that it was a 30-year loan. We are talking about, again, sewers were first installed in 2003 on Lakeside Boulevard, which is the first area that they had sewers installed. So we should be getting around somewhere with amortization. We should be getting somewhere around where the first loan might actually be dropping off a little bit. But unfortunately, when they did the second phase, which I was not here for, actually none of us were here for, that project's a 40-year loan, so that's worse. But
As part of the initial.
right, but that won't mean that you'll stop paying because the group as a whole still have to pay.
I was
So,
just wondering if that loan was ever really paid off yet. because
well,
it's only
30 years, you're talking from 2023, when we started paying it off. I don't have that directly, but it should be just around 30 years now. With our new CFO, we should probably end up with a new presentation for sewers for numbers. That would be a great idea. Great idea.
I was really here for those questions.
That's
Not just
okay.
the whole senior thing.
That's okay. That's okay.
If I may, I'd like to say something about the exercise group.
Sure.
I'm Roy McQueen. I think some people know me. In '09, I started with Meals on Wheels, and I stayed with them for about 10 years. The meals came to HopeCon to the center, senior center, and then the food was given to the center, and I took that out on the day that I did it. It was Friday, so I did that 10 years. Now, I say that because the exercise group was initially started by the town nurse of Flo before I was there. Every Friday I was there, there was absolutely no exercise group. Every Friday, like I said, in the building. There was a group that was continued after Flo gave that up. She retired. And her notes were given to somebody. And you had a caller for the exercise, and you had a counter at that time. That was Wednesday. Wednesdays for that, most of that 10 years, I volunteered to get down to Lions for bingo. And the exercise group was after the lunch bunch. At that time, you didn't have the bingo as you have it now. You had one day a week, people would have bingo, and one day a week there was a game day, which was basically cards, maybe dominoes. But after the people that were at the lunch bunch, the caller, the town had two different people that supported the exercise. I don't remember if it's 1 or 2 days a week, but it was different. Part of it was upstairs, part was downstairs, part was also under the pavilion there. But with all this nonsense, it's too much. All you have to do is get the right time. For me, I'm an old GI. I'd be out to 20-degree weather doing exercise and colder. But you can't do that so much with seniors, although I would go.
We're not going to send you out there, Roy.
No, I wouldn't mind. I'd probably like it because I'm out. You know, people see me in the yard all the time, you know, trying to give away tomatoes now. But
I'll take some. Oh, I'm sorry.
well, you got to stop. You go and pick all the green ones you want in my home, in the back. You don't see them in the front. But anyway, if you want some now, come home with me when you finish. You know, I think all you have to do is find the time. That's all. Just move it around time. And that would be after lunch when, you know, you can, because you have bingo 2 days a week after lunch, and that's fine. So that would be my suggestion.
Yeah. Inevitably, the county's going to make the decision.
Oh, yeah.
It's certainly not going to be,
But they should have more or less a timeline on this. I mean, I'm only going back to 2009.
Well, there were phenomenal activities that were at the center. They had the game day, they had the horse racing, they had the line dancing, the country line dancing. They had, you know, there were a lot of events that happened at the center. So, and again, that when Lorraine gets back, we'll be able to come to a agreement with something. But thank you.
Okay.
And we're coming to get the tomatoes. Yeah, Dave.
I'm concerned because it seems like every time I come here, we're hiring more people for different jobs like this floodplain administrator.
That would be internal.
In other words, is that an extra salary?
No, that's just an internal person. I believe that's almost the engineer, if I'm
It'll
not
be the-
mistaken.
it'll
It's
be
the
the borough
engineer. It's our
engineer.
engineer.
And he wouldn't get paid more for
No.
this? No.
No.
Okay, and the ACO part-time? The animal control officer, you mentioned that earlier about hiring for Gianna, a part-time animal control officer, and you mentioned about a car and stuff like that.
Well, we're not getting a new car.
No.
That's not happening. And I have not had a conversation yet with the administrator about hiring somebody new for the ACO. So that was actually a surprise to me.
This is going to be in addition to the ACO we have already?
Well, you have to have part-time because it's a 24-hour service. So the full-time person cannot be available 24 hours a day. So we do have part-time people that we do hire to.
Yeah, I thought we had other
Well,
communities.
So they do come and go.
Yeah.
So it's possible that somebody has left and we're bringing in somebody new. I don't have the answer because like I said, I haven't met with the administrator to get all the information.
And on these ordinances, which are they going to be discussed at the next meeting, or are they supposed to be discussed at this meeting?
You can discuss them at this meeting. They'll be open to the public the next time, before we pass them, they'll be open to the
They
public.
will
But if
be
you have a
open.
question
Okay.
now,
Well,
feel
it's
free to
late.
ask it.
It's late. I won't keep you.
I probably have the answer if
I
you want.
I can come back next. I can find my way back here next.
We know
for the
you'll
next
be here,
meeting.
Dave.
Yeah.
No doubt about
So,
it.
let me ask you at the next meeting.
Okay, fine with me, Dave.
Thank you.
Yes.
Alan Nelson, I'm one of those Hudson Street residents. This whole sewer thing got pushed on us by the prior administration that very few people here were here at the time. At the time, in order to push this through, they were trying to sweeten the pot with a payment schedule. The hookup fee was going to go in 8 quarters and all these things were discussed and obviously never moved on. In the meantime, we've been left hanging. Some of the people aren't even hooked up yet to utilize the sewer. I've been paying my sewer bills. I have no issue with that at all. My issue right today is watching this council, which I'm very disappointed in today. Last meeting, everybody was going to look into it. It doesn't seem to me like anybody reached out to anybody on the block to get a point of view of what they believe happened. There's nobody here virtually that was here when it happened, except for the 2 gentlemen. Oh, Dawn, I think you were here also.
I was here. I was here when it went through, when it passed.
No. When Mike was here, were you here also?
Yes, it was.
Okay, no problem. I'm sorry about that. In the meantime, in today's meeting, you publish a list with 7,000 on it. You put it on the website.
The list wasn't with 7,000. There was a list of the houses that were to be included in the sewer
Right.
assessment.
And what was that number on the end for?
The 7,600 was an earlier calculation when they were using unimproved lots. So that list wasn't attached to the ordinance.
Well, are they
for the
using
dollar
unimproved
amount.
lots?
They're not allowed to. The assessment is only for assessed improved lots.
So an empty lot doesn't get billed?
It can't be under the state statute.
Okay.
Okay,
All
and
right.
so, and just the confusion came because the list was attached to list all of the houses that were included in the sewer
Mhm.
assessment. It wasn't attached for that 7,600. That was later changed to 10,000 when they took out the unimproved lots.
Okay.
I knew the
All right.
answer. It was
And the
just-
hookup, which is like $6,500, there's a lot of people on the block that are really retired, limited income, living month to month. And now you're saying that we can't do that in a 2-year period. They're gonna get a bill for $6,400. I mean, that's without any communication. I mean, somebody's just gonna open their mail and get a huge bill and say, what is this about? So I think while you're very transparent, I think communication is a very big problem here. Thank you.
Well, I certainly understand what you're talking about, and I respect what you're saying, but the letter that had gone out from the administrator previously, Ron Tappan, where he was dividing that into 8 payments, legally he cannot do.
I knew they did not move on it,
The
but
ordinance specifically states when it has to be paid, and this ordinance supersedes anything that I write or anybody
Okay.
else here
Right,
writes.
but I'm here and maybe 1 or 2 other people from the block are here. Everybody else knows nothing about this until they get a bill now, not even a note from the administrator saying, as per this and that, this is coming due, whatever.
Well, the letters will go out. The letters will absolutely go out. And the reason why we have the connection fee and the correction came with the connection fee is everybody that's hooked up to sewer and everybody that's hooked up to water, they all had to pay the connection fee.
I understand that, but they didn't have the situation that we had with some back and forth of people giving you other alternatives that never came to fruition, and they never told you it didn't come to fruition. A lot of people on the block are sure, I'm sure in their minds, think they're gonna be able to pay it out, and now they're gonna fall behind on their taxes because they can't pay everything.
No, I understand what you're saying, and there are letters that will go out to let people know, what's happening, that will come out from the administrator also.
Thank you.
So they will get that, but thank you very much.
Just following up on that, so I'm still just trying to connect the dots. I mean, first of all, thank you for listening on the 15 years. That follows along with the spirit of what was done. It said a maximum of 20 years to align to the loan. That's perfect. I'm trying to connect the dots to what originally came out was 8,600 for the assessment.
So I can, when and I wasn't at the meetings that were held with the engineer and the residents, but I know that there was a prediction that when the state loan came in, that the assessment was going to be 86, 8,800, something like that, right? When the appraiser did his first report, he listed all the lots that were going to be included, but he included unimproved lots. So if you take the total amount to be assessed,
there's 16 total lots that aren't included.
something like that.
Right.
And when you took out those unimproved lots, the amount went from 7,600 to the 10,200 or whatever the number is.
Okay, so if those
And that was
lots-
done here at a
No, I
public-
remember
yeah,
that.
okay.
Again, what we heard was it came in under budget.
Yeah.
So I was just trying to connect the dots between, the original and then the 10. How can it go up if it came in
Yeah, I
under
think
budget?
the prediction, I'm not defending the process, but I think the prediction was made before the contract was actually out, right? Because it hadn't been contracted for. So when you hear that the project came in under budget, it was after the contract was out for RFP, was awarded and signed. That came in under budget, but that was a couple bucks, 10-12% over what had been predicted.
Okay, and then just following the money, right? I mean, each of the lots was improved by the value of the sewer. There's 8 lots that are owned by the borough and 8 lots that are owned by private people. When they connect and become improved, because the value of that lot increased by the value of the sewer, does it get clawed back?
There's not currently a clawback clause in the scheme at this point. I've seen it done in the past.
Yeah.
It's not done here. I think the borough engineer felt that it was fairly unlikely that in the next foreseeable future that those lots were going to be improved. The ones that are unimproved, many of them would be very, very difficult to improve. So that was not a feature of this, but that is something the council could consider.
Well, I mean, because we're subsidizing $2,700.
No, I
per
totally
family,
get it.
right?
When we did the water main extension on Pickerel Point, we did that exactly.
Okay.
Maybe it was something like 10 out of the 15 houses connected, 5 didn't want to connect, but there was a 10-year period in which if the other 5 houses connected, they had to contribute, and there was actually small refunds.
Yeah. Okay. And then finally, I mean, again, back to the connection fee. Understand the connection fee, it's what, $6,300, something like that. The original notes that we got were payable over 2 years. We connected 2 years ago. So that says to their point that's going to now accelerate. So we're going to get a bill for $6,000 and pay that immediately.
If you're
Well,
hooked up,
you're
then
not.
you don't
If
have
you're
to
hooked
pay
up, then
anything.
you-
You were hooked up and you paid your hookup fee.
We never paid a hookup fee. We never got a bill.
Never got a bill. Nobody sent us anything.
We got the usage fee immediately. That literally, I think it was within days of when we connected, we got our first bill. We've never paid a connection fee.
The connection fee, according to the ordinance that everybody else has paid the connection fee, you've actually benefited in a way if you haven't paid it yet. Because
No, understand.
everybody else had to pay the hookup fee is when they got the they have to pay.
As
the
I
hookup
thought
fee.
last meeting, we said that nobody got the letters for
Right.
connection.
Nobody has gotten a letter.
Right, and we had to hold this resolution until we
Right.
figured
Right.
out what was going on and what was happening.
And my point is, instead of paying it over 2 years, which we planned for, right, it's gonna be $6,000 all at once. Because it's retroactive to when I connected, that's what I'm assuming.
Yes.
Yes, it would be retroactive from when you connected, but again, the ordinance supersedes anything for any discussion anywhere. The ordinance says exactly what the ordinance says. And again, we will have a room filled with 3,000 people or more that have paid out water connections and sewer connections all in one shot when they got their letter, when they had to hook up to sewers.
So
and their
you're
water.
gonna get your letter now, which means that you're gonna have to hook up. So you've had a 2-year grace period, but now you're getting your
Well,
letter.
again, I'm
Right?
not debating that I
So
owe it, that's
think-
fine, that
I
was
think
part
that's
of the
what they were
deal.
kind of like doing, was saying, okay, we
It's
have
just
these
that-
people hooked up and.
It's just that the payment schedule that was given to us and what you're saying is they could not have given us that schedule.
Correct.
That's right.
It was a misrepresentation.
That's really bad.
Yes. We know.
Not your guy. You
We
were
know,
there.
We
and
know, that's
somebody
what
else
we
was,
know,
but
that's what we're telling you.
We did it in good faith. We signed up for this and, it cost a lot of money for us to
Yep.
connect up. My wife broke her ankle because of the construction that was there. It wasn't a pretty thing. And there's a lot of people that are out a lot of cash because somebody took advantage of them too. So there's some people on the street that are really gonna be in tough shape.
But I think that that's also why that we modified that resolution to be, what did we say? I think originally it was 4 quarters or 5 quarters to 15 years for the
No,
assessment.
but that was part of the original scope of,
Right.
and actually, we've got the certified letter stating that it was gonna be over that term. It's just a connection fee now.
Right.
Okay. Not happy, but I understand it.
Thank you. Pete?
3 quick questions.
Mhm.
Dawn?
Yes.
Okay, the All Cancer Group date is,
Hold on one second.
Your Dawn thing.
I have so many papers.
What do you mean your assessments to your agenda's not proper?
Yeah. Here, I got it. Hold on. Okay, it is on the 10th,
Okay,
Tuesday,
10th.
the 10th at 7 PM.
7 PM to,
Usually 8:30.
okay, 8:30. Okay, let me just clarify. We can no longer put shredded paper out for recycling?
No,
Okay.
shredded paper goes in the garbage.
Now, we have a recycling bin over at the recycling center for paper, and they were taking shredded.
You can take it there. That's clean.
Okay,
That's clean. There's a difference between putting it in your can and getting it
okay.
wet or soiled or
Right,
whatever.
right,
that
because I'm
there's a-
just sitting there going like, bag of shredded paper. The
Right,
critters
you
are gonna have a field day. with that.
Absolutely, you can bring that to
And,
recycling center.
and second, last, hopefully this will be entertaining. We could get the energy from the sky. If we set up a bunch of kites with electrical.
We certainly could.
Yeah, that'd be an idea. but
It would be
anyway.
cheaper.
Are you volunteering, Pete, to hold the kites? Is that what I'm hearing?
Ben Franklin
Is that?
Haven't you ever seen a Frankenstein movie? Come on, that's what they do it for. Anyway, be well and be safe.
Thank you, Pete.
Any other questions?
I wanna get out.
You can talk from
Is the
there.
Hudson Street addition of the stores being added into the original stores that came in 2003 that we all moved, I moved here, found out I paid my 10,000. I had that lousy contractor who hooked me up and went bankrupt. Are they being folded into our original sewer thing so that we're always gonna be evolving and paying exorbitant amounts of money towards a sewer bill?
There,
270 is pretty darn high when Bergen County pays 65 a quarter.
yes.
I mean, is this how it's gonna be? They get time to pay their money off, but we all had to pay our money off immediately. But they're gonna get folded in to extend us out.
they're gonna get folded into the project, just like all of the sewer customers that hook up to the project. They're paying the same usage that you're paying, which is for the original project that started in 2003. So their usage is gonna be exactly the same. And again, that's what your usage is for, and then you paid a hookup fee. They're paying the same hookup fee that you paid, and their usage is gonna be exactly the same as your usage is. The only difference is they're paying their own individual construction fee. So they're paying their construction fee, which is the $10,000 and change. They have to pay that per house
That's
because
what we paid.
because they extended the line.
That
And
was
then
our
you're,
10,000 that we paid to hook up
that
in
was,
2003.
Right, that's separate.
that's separate.
No,
Ours
but
is
that's when
separate.
we all paid 10,000. So
Right.
they're paying $136 more out of their own pocket for their sewer, but they're on a payment plan for 15 years.
Just for their project. They're still paying back your usage.
We also had an I-loan too. We had an I-loan for two of them that we paid back over, one dropped in 21 and one dropped in 22. So it was from 03 to, it was about 15, maybe 20 years, 15, 20 years that we had ours to pay ours back. It's the same thing, but it's different from ours. It's not gonna extend our payments.
When did you move in? How come in 2003? I never had an I moved in,
No,
I
no,
got a letter
it
from
was
the
part, it
attorney
was part of
saying-
our, it's part of our usage fee. That 330, whatever, the 322.50 we were paying, it was
whatever we
4
started.
loans in one. So 2 of them were the same kind of loan that they're getting. But it's not gonna extend our payment out. What we're paying ends when we pay it off, our bond, their assessment is completely separate from our bond. Does that make sense?
No.
Okay.
We'll
But
come up
that's
with
all right.
another way to
We'll
explain
I'll
it.
discuss it at another time when it's not 10 o'clock.
We'll come up with another way to explain it. Does anybody else have a question? Okay. Thank you.
Motion to close,
Motion to bring it back.
Bring it back. Second.
bring it back.
Okay. I'm reading my comments. I do want to take the time to thank our ambulance captain, Rob Auer. He sent us this great email from New Jersey Unclaimed Property. If nobody's done that yet, I suggest that you Google your name in it to see if you're in it. Hopakon is actually listed in it quite a few times. I am actually in the process of, I have no idea what it is monetary wise, but borough was listed several times, so I'm trying to get that back. I just think it's kind of exciting. I'm hoping it's like $1 million. I don't know though. But if you haven't done it yet, you should do it. Senior Day at the County Fair, that was August 5th, and we had a representation from Hopakon for our Seniors of the Year, Donna Moser and Rocco Pazzarini. They represented the borough very well, however, they did not win. They lost to someone from Lafayette. Actually, I didn't write his name in here, I apologize. But I do want to thank the Lake Hopakon Commission for the display that they made for us this year. If you went through the building where the towns were, the theme was you and nature together. They had a contest for that. We didn't win that either. We did have to cancel our concert in the park for August 10th because of rain. August 12th, we had, I had a mayor's meeting with the New Jersey Parks and the other 3 mayors on the lake and Marty Kane and our administrator, Neil. And this was actually a very informative meeting about the parks and the park system. This is the first time that I was ever part of it, and it was the first time they ever had a meeting with the park system. There was a lot of information that was given to us, and hopefully we're gonna be able to do something with that very shortly. On the 14th, we had an ice cream social that was at the senior center that was fabulous. It was very well attended. And all of these people that were here this evening, they were all at the same ice cream social. So there is continuity that's there also. On August 15th, I had a luncheon that was with the governor that was at the Windlass. It's a meeting that he has every summer with the other 3 mayors, and 4 mayors on the lake. Colonel Callahan from the New Jersey State Police was there. Sean LaTourette, the commissioner from the DEP, was there, and First Lady Tammy Murphy was there. It was a very productive meeting. It was my first mayor's meeting there with him. And I have to say, I had a lot of questions. He really did give me the time to ask my questions. And there were a lot of things that I wanted Hopakon to be able to get and have. And by the end of the meeting, I'm just waiting for them to schedule a date for the motor vehicle, mobile unit for motor vehicle to come into Hopakon. So I was able to get that out of the meeting, and I was able to talk about a couple of different things that are happening in Hopakon that we do need help with funding, with our water system and whatnot. So it's given me a different path to be able to talk to the DEP commissioner now, because there actually is some funding for water systems in our situation, which I won't go into because it's too late. So I did find that very, very productive, and I was very glad to be given the opportunity. And there is a very strong possibility that we might be able to use the Hopakon State Park for Hopakon events. And this will happen from Labor Day through Memorial Day. Hopakon, we're the only town that when you drive by the state park, we're the only town that drives by the state park. Everybody else, it's in Roxbury, but Roxbury doesn't even start till the 7-Eleven. So nobody sees the park but us. So I'm trying to allow the residents of Hopakon to be able to utilize the park in different avenues there. The state parks manager actually loved the idea. I'm working on an event for hopefully before this year ends. I'm not sure how that's going to go yet, but it would be really kind of nice. There is talk about upgrading the state trooper building. There are so many different entities that are in and out of that building now. It's so heavily used between the state police whose building it is, but then you also have the Morris County Sheriff's Office is in there, the Jefferson Township Police Department is in there, and so is Hopakon's Police Department, because everybody has boats that are on the lake. So we love having the boats on the lake because it helps us with our safety, but the unit itself over there, if you've never seen the building, it looks like the building that looks like a bathroom. So that was something that we're talking about in conversation. And the other thing that was really positive out of that meeting was there is a commission of the New Jersey Boating Regulation Commission. There's never been a representative from Hopakon on there or from the Lake Hopakon in like the last, I think they said 30 years. And we were able to get him to commit at that meeting that he was going to put a member from Lake Hopakon on that board for the state, but he was also going to have it come out of Hopakon. So we're just waiting for the confirmation of our Hopakon resident. The other thing was the fines on Lake Hopakon. All of us that are out there on a regular basis, we follow all the rules, we do all the safety that we have to do with our boats, but all of the people that are out there, and we see them all the time, you have one person that rents a jet ski, one person that rents a boat, but yet there's 7 people and they all drive it except for the one person that rented it that had the license. So those people are very inexperienced and they're out there. So the fines and whatnot for these offenses need to be updated. They have not been updated since the 50s. So people don't normally ask for increases in fees, but when you know you're following the rules, you don't have to worry about it. So they're looking to do that, which again is safety for our lake. On the 16th of August, myself and the administrator, we met with Marty Kane and Colleen Lyons and Kyle Richter from the Lake Hopakon Foundation. This was in reference to Witten Park, which, as everybody knows, is on Maxim Drive. Some people know it as Sperry Springs. We also had a meeting on the 16th with our new CFO, Joe Sedicase, and our auditor, Ray Sarinelli, in reference to our audit references and our suggestions and corrections that were given to us. So we're hoping to have a report from the new CFO on that shortly. The 17th was the Veterans Picnic for Sussex County. If you went there to the fairgrounds, it was fabulous. It was a beautiful day. It was jam-packed with people. If you're a veteran and you have not gone, you really need to make sure that you get there. It's something you don't want to miss. I do have a meeting coming up with the engineer on Monday that will help us with our water meeting that we're supposed to have on PFAS. Again, I know the 9/11 ceremony was mentioned a few times coming up this Wednesday. We do have something new in Hopakon. We have the Halloween decorating contest. That is actually starting in October, the 6th through the 26th. I tell you now because buy all of your Halloween decorations now because they will not be available in October when you need them to do the decorating contest. We'll do the judging at the end of the month for that. And remember, Halloween is the 2nd largest retail holiday. So we want you to plan your decorating. Sussex County Days, Councilman Rodriguez mentioned, is the 15th of September. It starts at 11 a.m. It's at the Sussex County Fairgrounds. This is the first time that Hopakon will have representation from police, fire, ambulance, and mayor and council. We've never done that before, so we're all really excited. We're hoping that you're going to come. The information for the referendum for the schools is out in the lobby that was mentioned by Councilwoman Johnson. It is somewhat of a cheat sheet. It does have the information, it does have the facts, and I will remind everybody one more time, if you really want to know the facts about something, you have to reach out to the entity that's putting out the information so that you can get the information from the source, which is why we're also going to have the Board of Education back one more time before the referendum so that all the information can get out. Environmental Commission, we met this past week. We're continuing to progress with the Environmental Commission. We're looking to take back our webpage and our Facebook page. The administrator started working on that for us. Our new commissioner, Wayne Cameron, had the greatest idea. I'm glad you're here, Sandy. Had the greatest idea for a seed library, which is very similar to the book library. So it will actually be in the municipal building, in the lobby somewhere, but it's actually a square box that has all these little drawers through it, and it has seeds in it. And you'll be able to come and take like 2 to 3 packages of seeds out of the seed library. It's very exciting. The other thing that we're doing with the Environmental Commission is we're talking about doing an Adopt a Street, Adopt a Drain, Adopt a Road program coming into the new year, which will allow people who live on those streets to adopt their streets to clean up garbage and whatnot. We do have a presentation that's going in front of the school system. We're not exactly sure when that's going to happen, but we're trying to get the youth involved in the Environmental Commission. So this way we can get groups together to help clean the parking lots at the school, underneath the bleachers, all of those other places. But if we can teach them at a younger age to not litter and what you have to do to pick it up, it'll be very proactive moving forward. What was interesting is there was a gentleman there that was from the Highlands Council, which I would have never expected because environmental's only had 3 meetings, and yet we had a visit from the Highlands Council. And they actually have a program that is called Landscape Makeover Program. We're going to post this on our website, and we're going to post this on our Facebook page. And this is the availability for the Highlands Council to give you up to $675 to create a rain garden on your property. They will have the Rutgers engineer will actually come out and do the design for you if your location is suitable for that. There's absolutely no cost to the homeowner whatsoever, other than giving them the location for the rain garden. And it cannot be, obviously it cannot be something where they're sopping up all the water everywhere. They're not meant to do that. But we're going to post this so everybody can get all of the information. But he came and invited the borough to also come up with 2 new locations that the Highlands Council will pay for us to put in 2 brand new rain gardens in Opakon. So I know one of our members, Lori, she already has one really good site in mind, and we're looking on a second one, but they're going to fund all of that for us. And that's several $1,000s to do just one large rain garden for the borough. So we were really excited about that. Let's see, school starting tomorrow. The one thing that I will say, kids nowadays, they have the AirPods in. You don't see the headphones, you don't see wires, so you have no idea that they can't hear what's going on around you. So be very, very, very careful. We are unfortunately hearing about other accidents that are happening in other places in New Jersey. So we don't want it to happen here. Our improvements that we had in Fireman's Park, I don't know if anybody noticed behind here during the day, we had the 2 trees removed that were on both sides of the artifacts and opened the whole area up. A lot of it had to do with an issue with the trees being so close to the building. We have squirrels that go on the roof. We have insects that are at the building. It's a safety issue with the windows. So the trees were removed. We're waiting to see what we might possibly put back in its place that won't grow as tall as the building did, but it's absolutely beautiful there. So if you haven't taken a look back there, or if you're coming to the 9/11 ceremony, you'll be able to see it there also. The other thing was the Lake Opakon Foundation received an award for $350,000, and it's just for improvements at Witten Park in the borough of Opakon. And the funds will be used for implementation of stormwater improvements, and it's all within that 1 acre wooded park that's adjacent to Witten Park. So if you have not been down there, you should take a look there. It is actually the only piece of lakefront property that the borough of Opakon owns. So it'll be really, really nice to be able to have that. And that was all that I had. Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'm just gonna copy this.